Referee's whistle sounds to raucous applause from all three sides of Kairos. That moment's silence was more beautifully respected by all those of Wrexham and Salford persuasions. The players have now broken again. Wrexham have come to the side of the field to run through a last set of cones. Salford have chosen to stay out on the field. They're all clustered around the centre circle. It will be their kick-off to get us underway on Talksport 2. Cameron Pope and Mickey Gray, the former Sunderland left-back, alongside me. And Mickey, we heard the events at Notts County earlier. Mansfield picking up a massive 3 points against the league leaders. And what does that do now for a game that already had a lot on it up at the top end of the division?
Well, it certainly sends out a message, doesn't it, from Mansfield. It was a fantastic result. Notts County have been absolutely flying themselves. But you don't want to find yourself playing catch-up throughout the whole of the season. And these are important games, certainly for the home side, if they want to stay on the coattails of the top teams. But it's also important for Salford. They don't want to drift towards the bottom of the table, so their 3 points for them away from home are key today.
Well, we are waiting to get underway. Referee's whistle has sounded, and just a minute or so behind time, we are off in North Wales. This is Talksport 2, your home of live sport and of the EFL. And here's two sides, hoping to find room for them in the third tier next season. Wrexham back in the Football League after 15 years away. Salford, not quite the new faces they were a few years ago, but still broke new ground last season and reached in the playoffs for the first time. Lost at the semi-final stage, and they're in possession just inside their own half. It's Lund forward with his bleached blonde hair, looking for a pass down the line that might have found Matt Smith, but he doesn't reach him, and it'll be out for a throw-in near side the Salford right. White shirts, black shorts, black socks. They're setting up in what looks to be a 4-3-3 formation. It's Ingram, the West Brom loanee, who takes the throw-in, goes down the line up towards Smith. He's a tall figure. Flicked away from him, though. And the first touch and first involvement of the referee comes as Elliot Lee looks to get forward just inside the Salford half. He's stopped. There's a foul called in midfield on the home side. Now, the first opportunity to launch this ball forward. Lee, a key member of the side in the weeks of the season so far. 7 league goals, joined last summer on a free from Luton. Son of Rob Lee, former England international. Brother Oliver actually plays at Gillingham, and it's quite a pedigree. He steps up for this free kick, which is just a shade off the halfway line. Salford half of the field, chipped forward by Lee. Down the line it goes towards Mullen, who turns, but the block comes in. And it's knocked out of play for a throw into Wrexham.
Certainly started with good intent, sorry Cameron. Wrexham, the home side, they're on the front foot, the high press, winning the ball up high. They've certainly worked on the way that Salford set themselves up.
Well, here comes Evans with the throw. 15 yards from the corner flag, launches it in deep into the penalty area. Header from Smith away, helped on the edge of the penalty area. Mallon trying to clear it. It's going to be linked back into the danger zone over all the heads, and the goalkeeper has come for it. And Alex Cairns, all in electric blue today, makes the call without too much pressure. Ollie Palmer, who's also a physical specimen, isn't he? It's a game of tall centre forwards that we've got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Marcus Dacker's on the bench for Salford is a Welshman. He's 6'7", so they're only going to get taller as this game wears on. But that one, no trouble for the goalkeeper, arcing into his hands. It's Mariappa playing on the right-hand side of the central defensive partnership. Forward it goes towards halfway, and the foul committed by Leon Ingram. Free kick to Salford. I'll remind you of those teams then. Cairns in goal, back four for Salford of Garbett, Tilt, Mariappa, Ingram, Watt, Mallon and Lunder, the midfield three, Bolton and John the wide men, Smith up front, and as for the host, Okonkwo in net, Hayden, O'Connell across the back three, James and McLean as well on the wide flanks, Jones and Evans in the middle behind Lee, Palmer and Mullin up front. It's Salford coming forward. We've had just 3 minutes here at Kairos, 0-0. Talksport 2 you're listening to, Cameron Pope and Mickey Gray. Bolton picks it up corner of the area, looking to try and find a ball in. Out with Ingram it is, now it will come towards the goalkeeper, headed clear by Owen O'Connell. And it'll be out for our first corner of the afternoon, and it's gone to the away side. Yeah,
well, it's a super move, isn't it, from Salford from the free kick. They work it out really well to this right-hand side. Ethan Ingram, too much space. James McLean's got to get any space as a fullback to stop that cross coming in when you know you've got the threat of Matt Smith.
Well, it's a long way away from me and Mickey, this. We're right down the other end of the ground, almost level with the penalty area. But here it comes, whipped in by Salford towards the front post, flicked towards back and scooped away in the nick of time. It will be out for a corner kick on the other side this time. No, the referee's given a goal kick in the end. I think he's moving players out. And it's actually gone for a throw, and it's gone all the way and skittered the wrong side of the corner flag. Wrexham will have the defensive throw. 4 minutes gone here on Talksport 2. Throw-in arcs forward into the North Wales sky, up towards halfway. And we've got another throw-in now further up the field. It wasn't kept alive by Curtis Tilt. I don't think the referee's saying it's come in. I think he's wanting to take it back, and that's the first one of them I've seen this season. I've seen a few foul throws, but if it doesn't come in, that's the rule, isn't it? Then you have to take it again. Up to halfway it does eventually go, and it's charged down by Ollie Palmer. He's just got white shirts around him. He's having to go at himself. Home fans are calling for a free kick. Palmer's held it up. Now he's 30 yards out on the right-hand side, looking for McLean. That's a lovely ball as well, right onto the instep. This could be danger for Salford. Lee is 35 yards out, trying to get a turn on Bolton. Boos are coming from all around now. Back to halfway it goes, and well, Wrexham wanted the free kick. The referee's taken a halt, because all that time there was a man down at the back for the home side, and well, the shouts of off, and this is on the far side of the ground. Paul Mullin is down, and those around the epicentre of the clash seem to have seen something that we haven't, or they're at least intimating they have. The referee, for the whole of that move, had a hand in his ear as if talking to the assistant referee. We've only had 5 minutes here on Talksport 2, and well, high drama already at Kairas. It's Ben Toner, the referee, in the centre. Not that either of these teams so far this season. League 1 and 2 ref, he's very experienced, took charge of the EFL Trophy final earlier this season. He's still got his hand in his ear. We haven't had any resumption of play. It remains goalless. And now the referee wants the ball back in his hands. And it's still not immediately clear what the restart is going to be. I'm going to hazard a guess and say drop ball now. And there are more boos coming from the home fans. Matt Smith is going to stand up against O'Connell and contest this one. In fact, it's just going to be rolled to the Wrexham centre half, and so they've got the ball back, Wrexham, but 50 yards further downfield from where they were. Yeah,
I think the problem there, Cameron, was you could see it was Paul Mullin was on the ground. Wrexham were trying to break out from their right-hand side.
Well, that's why he was on his own. Ollie Palmer's
absolutely,
no one around
and
him.
I think Curtis Tilt kind of grabbed onto his shoulder and just wouldn't let him pass to break forward, so he held him back. Eventually the two players went to ground, which was why the Wrexham home support were going absolutely crazy. I think he's got away with one there, so it's certainly something that we need to look out for, because we know how much of a threat Mullin can be.
Watt forward over halfway for Salford, up towards Smith, and there's a pull on Watt, and it'll be a free kick to Salford City, and the home fans still feel aggrieved about the decision to award the drop ball, not a free kick for the pull on Mullin.
Well, it's just got a little bit scrappy, hasn't it? Last couple of minutes, just both sides basically need to settle themselves down if they possibly can, and just start to play the football that we know that they can.
Suns pops out again from behind the clouds. 6.5 minutes gone here on Talksport 2. Those are the words of Mickey Gray, former England international, as Wrexham again looking to play out from the back and hook down the right flank towards James Jones. It squirms under his feet and out for a throw-in. Unlucky from the man who's just signed a new deal here in North Wales. And more boos now for Curtis Tilt. He spent time here at Wrexham before his move to Moor Lane. Home crowd letting their feelings be known as Bolton comes forward for Salford onto the right flank, near side, looks to get the cross in, put too close to O'Connell, cleared away towards the corner flag. Wrexham will endeavour to clear their lines, and they managed to, but it's going to go back into Salford hands. Quick 1-2 taken on the throw-in by Ingram. Near side, the Salford right, plays it infield towards Watt. Elliot Watt looking for a pass, and he's managed to find one up towards the edge of the penalty area with Mallon. Back towards Watt again, moving this one nicely now up to the left-hand side with Declan John. And there's a man on the overlap too, it's Garbett. Then he runs into two red shirts, and it's cleared away by one of them, Aaron Hayden. Up towards halfway. Now here comes Mullin. First chance to see the big man in action, and he's got Palmer in support. Maybe held onto the ball a little too long, and by that time the man was back in defence, and Curtis Tilt gets a meaty shove in the back from Ollie Palmer. It was right under the nose of the assistant referee, and quite rightly, it's a free kick to Salford. 0-0.
Well, I mean, that's what, in a nutshell, what you want to see from Wrexham, isn't it? You want to see Paul Mullin picking up that ball deep and running towards the back line. Just got his pass wrong. He tried to play with his left foot. He needed more of an angle on it to get Ollie Palmer involved in that. If he had it done, it was a 2v2 situation, but see how quick they are on the break, Wrexham, which is why they score so many goals. But they're a real threat, and this is why Salford have to keep focused, certainly defensively.
Watt over the top, looking for the route one ball, and he's found Declan John up against Hayden, far side the Salford left, cuts it back towards Garbett, floats the ball into the penalty area. Smith might have had his shirt held there. Anyway, the protestations were only mute from Salford, and it is cleared away by Wrexham up towards halfway. Battle on to keep this ball in for Ingram. He slid after it, but to no avail, and it has gone out for a Wrexham ball on halfway. 9 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Cameron Pope and Mickey Gray, your commentary team. Goalless still, as James McLean readies himself for the throw-in. Sporting the black armband like all the players across the EFL are. Lee goes back into the heart of his defence. Hayden forward over halfway. Wrexham moving the ball around well. James Jones back into his own half. All but Smith behind the ball for Salford at the moment. Now forward, an arcing ball comes from the back from O'Connell, but it's gone straight down the field, and I don't think he caught it right, and it's bounced out for a goal kick. So no score as the 10-minute mark approaches. Only a few games on in League One today. I'll keep you abreast of what's going on. We've got 4 actually, and none of them have got a goal in at the moment. In fact, we haven't got a goal in any of the 3 o'clock kickoffs so far. Oh, I beg your pardon. Swindon leading 1-0 against Newport County. The rest of the game's goalless. Either way, Salford have played it out short from their dead ball, and now scooped long over the top, looking for the head of Matty London. He keeps it alive and finds Bolton further up the flank, near side the Salford right, back into the centre circle looking for Ingram, who's come more central, splays it out towards Garbett, back in the team, forward towards Declan John, now halfway inside the Wrexham half. He's only got red shirts around him though, has to come back away from goal. Here's Elliot Watt. Mallon moving it to Ingram still, coming from left to right now. Salford brought under control by Bolton, looking to get a cross in, has to cut it back towards the edge of the penalty area. Mallon bending cross, but too high for Matt Smith, and not many are they? Straight out for a dead ball in the end, but a little bit of danger from both sides so far. 10.5 minutes gone at Kairas. It's Wrexham 0, Salford City 0.
You can certainly see how the away side are setting themselves up, aren't you, Cameron? On this right hand side they look a real threat. Stephen Mallon and Ingram have put some really nice balls into the box, looking for Matt Smith, just waiting for that one opportunity, isn't he? But you know, it's touch tight. You see the centre halves, they're getting close to him, they're pulling onto his shirt because they know if you give him half a yard he's going to get in front of you, and he's very good in the air.
So it will be Okonkwo, the Arsenal loanee, to take the goal kick for Salford, long downfield. It's headed back the way it came, and so now it will be controlled more confidently by Tom O'Connor. Same result though, back to his goalkeeper, and Smith starts the press for Salford City. Drops short towards O'Connor, who didn't quite know that Bolton was right over his shoulder, and he gives it away in his long ball up towards halfway. Only found Lunt, and then Lunt, in trying to find Ingram, has played that out of play in his own turn. And a scrappy passage of play ends up as a Wrexham throw-in in front of Paul Parkinson's technical area. Been in the job now since July 2021. Has been promoted from this division before. That was a decade ago with Bradford City. Got to the League Cup final in that season as well. It's Salford who've had the better cup success this season. Knocked out 2 championship sides in the Carabao Cup. Preston and Leeds both on penalties before succumbing to Vincent Kompany's Burnley 4-0. Forward come Wrexham on halfway, and it's a ball down the far side right flank looking for Paul Mullin. He's stopped by Curtis Tilt, who hooks the ball back to his goalkeeper, and Cairns, under pressure from Palmer, plays the ball into the centre circle. It's headed away by Owen Connell. Shouts of handball against Adrian Mariappa, or Ingram should I say, and he's carried on unabated until he's stopped by Elliot Lee, and Wrexham will win that ball back inside their own half. Still 0-0, 12.5 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Don't forget, 3 live commentaries for you today. Coming up after this, we've got WSL action, Chelsea versus West Ham, with Joe Shannon and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Bolton coming forward now for Salford down the right, gets a cross in. Okonkwo's come for it, got a hand on it, not a strong one, but it's bobbled to a red shirt. Wrexham looking to get this ball clear, played out to McLean, edge of the penalty area. They've made light work of that in the end of what could have been a sticky situation. Up towards Palmer on halfway, under pressure from Mariappa, and he's moved it well. Here comes Jones, trying to get away from Mallon. He's caught him. Referee plays a good advantage, and now there are men in the penalty area. Can James get the cross in? Oh, it's over the head of Mullen, and it's going to go dead for a goal kick. But by far the best passage of play I think we've seen from Wrexham there. Defence to attack in a matter of seconds. It remains though after 13 minutes on Talksport 2. Wrexham 0, Salford 0.
Well, I mean, it's end to end, isn't it? Mistakes on either side, but beautiful move there from Wrexham. Started on this left hand side, but when they get it over to that right hand side, Aaron James maybe a little bit of inexperience there, just needs to wrap his foot round the cross a little bit more, didn't he? Because he had willing runners getting into the box, because it was a superb move, and you can hear behind us the crowd is just certainly getting behind it now. Such an open game.
So Cairns is taking his time here over this goal kick. And eventually he plays it from a central position in his 6-yard box up towards halfway. Lund controlling, gets a ricochet off Owen O'Connell and plays a second ball. Then he goes down, contacts on the follow through perhaps. He's still getting himself to his feet, and now he's motioning to tie his shoelaces. And the referee is motioning to him that he wants to play to continue. And well, there's no motioning from the Wrexham fans. They're letting their thoughts be known rather vocally as Salford come forward. Ingram picking out Bolton near side the right flank. 30 yards out from the byline. Lund to cross it towards the back post. Oh, it's too big. And it's skittered behind for a corner, though. It was a ball that asked questions of the Wrexham defence, and someone had to get a touch on it. And it's been played to the relative safety of a corner. Stockport lead at Harrogate Town. And the other 3 o'clock kickoffs across League 1 and League 2. MK Dons have taken the lead at home to Barrow. Crew lead Tranmere by a 0-0. No goals in League 1 at the moment in the 4 games they've got there. If I don't mention a game, just presume that it is goalless. As it is here, quarter of an hour gone. Salford have a corner kick. Played short, quick 1-2. Here it comes, looping ball towards the back post. Diving forward is Smith. Oh, he sneaked it in. Not the cleanest he'll score, but it's his 9th goal of the season. And Matt Smith peels away to celebrate with the travelling fans. It rolled in under the outstretched hand of Arthur Okonkwo. Corner delivered to perfection from the short play, and after a quarter of an hour it's the away side who lead in North Wales. Wrexham 0, Salford City 1.
Well, you could see it coming, couldn't you? It's a fantastic finish from Matt Smith. We talked about the threat that he brings to this Salford side. It's a corner from the right hand side. I think only Elliot Watt is the one who takes this. A little short corner, and in my head I'm thinking, what do you do? And put the ball in the box. But it was very clever. Nice little short corner, then whips it towards the back stick. And Matt Smith, using his strength and his height just to get away from his marker, keeps it low, does everything right. I have to say it's a superb finish. Okonkwo, it's a difficult one for him, isn't it, in that Wrexham goal. Dives down to his left-hand side, just creeps underneath his arm. Can't really blame the goalkeeper for that. I think, you could see the problems coming before that, couldn't you, Cameron?
I think you could, and those long balls have been a threat for Salford, but they have been able to play it on the ground too, and they forced the corner well. And well, it was executed brilliantly with a little short play from Watt. And so it is Salford who leads. 16 minutes gone here at Kairas. Most of us will know that, including me, as the racecourse. It goes under its Welsh name now officially. That's what we've been told to call it. And McLean with a throw-in for Wrexham, who trail by a 0-0. He's 20 yards inside the Salford half. Calling for it is Mullin. Palmer too, but it's scooped away from the latter by Bolton. Back towards his goalkeeper via Ingram, and Cairns takes a moment to plot a pass. He'll go short into Garbett. Down the line to Declan John, and played in field to Watt. It's seamless play at times from Salford in the passing triangles that they're opening up, but it has broken down at the feet of Owen O'Connell. And here comes Elliot Lee on halfway for Wrexham. Up against Bolton. Plays it back over his shoulder, no options further forward in red. Scooped over the top this time by O'Connor, looking for the tall figure of Ollie Palmer, headed away defensively. And it will be another throw-in. Wrexham, well, they didn't lose here in the National League last season, but they're losing here now. Only lost 3 games, I should say, in the whole of the last campaign. And well, if it stays like this, they'll equal this tally after just a few games. Cameron Pope and the former England international left-back Mickey Gray on commentary as Evans lines up the throw-in for Wrexham. Just beyond the edge of the penalty area, spinning ball into the box. Headed up by Smith, it's going to trickle towards a corner. Just been kept alive at the last moment by Ingram. And it will be a throw-in. Could have been worse for Salford City. And it will be Evans again to take it. New man, brought in only last month. Drops the ball in short towards O'Connell. Back towards the halfway point in his Salford half of McLean. Picks out Evans again, gets a mean cross in. That one was headed away rather comfortably, and well, it's been given as a free kick, I believe. Actually, I thought I was going to say it had gone straight out for a throw-in, and there was a bit of bemusement around us in the Wrexham Lager stand. It's been given for a push defensively. It certainly wasn't a Salford throw, but it is a free kick 3 yards inside their own penalty area. Salford leading by a 0-0 at the racecourse. And forward to Mallon it goes for the white-shirted away side. Halfway inside his own half, back to his goalkeeper. Oh, played short towards Mariappa, and Palmer was right on top of him. Plays it down the line towards Bolton, who gets a bit of a flick on the heels from McLean. Referee either didn't see it or was happy with it, and it's play on throw into the home side.
Good little battle this down, sorry Cameron, good little battle this down the left-hand side for Wrexham with McLean and Luke Bolton. You can see the physical side of it. It's been a very physical game so far as well, and the away side certainly looked the better for it.
Well, Mullin is battling for the ball up by the corner flag. No free kick, but he has held on to it. Played backwards by James Jones, away from goal. Hayden will pick it up. Wrexham looking to get it back into this game. In comes the cross, up towards Palmer. Couldn't get ahead on it. And flicked away by Mariappa. Danger not over. Still battling for it in midfield is George Evans. But it's been won back by Salford and they're on the break. Bolton over halfway. His side leading by a goal to nil. He's got Matt Smith, the scorer, in the middle. But he's crowded out on the wing. And there's applause from the home fans because that ball's been won back by James McLean. And Wrexham can go about undoing the damage once again. Over halfway towards Palmer. Really is end to end. This the place for goals at the moment in League Two. Forward comes Lee. He's got most of them for Wrexham. Forward it comes towards the right edge of the box. Cross comes in from the young man James, and it's fed behind for a Wrexham corner kick. And well, you can see why there's been 36 goals in the last 6 league games Wrexham have played here. It's been constantly end to end. 20 minutes gone on Talksport 2. It's Wrexham 0, Salford City 1.
Well, again, you know, it's super move, isn't it, from Wrexham, from left-hand side over to that right-hand side. And Aaron James has been involved a lot. This time he tries to fire one along the ground. They've got to try and get Paul Mullin involved in the game as quick as he possibly can. You just hear the crowd every time they play some stylish football.
Well, McLean to take the corner, far side the Wrexham right. They trail by a goal to nil. Plenty of red shirts in the box to aim for. Here comes a whipped in swinging delivery. Oh, Matt Smith got a head on it and he sent it for a corner on the other side, and just as well, because there were plenty of red shirts swarming towards the back post that would have loved to tuck that away. But Matt Smith, he's normally the tallest in any penalty area, and he used his height to good advantage there. And he's flicked it deftly but importantly out for a corner kick. Wrexham set up again with McLean, this time from the left-hand side, plays it short into Evans. On the right foot, gets a bending crossing. Oh, it's missed everybody. It went all the way through. And O'Connell was there to try and flick on a header. And it skimmed through the air just a couple of inches beyond his forehead and evades everybody in red and white, and in the end goes out for a goal kick for Alex Cairns. It remains Wrexham 0, Salford City 1.
Well, you're just looking for that slightest touch, aren't you? I mean, initially, brilliant defending from Matt Smith, the guy who's got himself on the score sheet for the away side today. But defensively, we talked about that physical presence in the right place at the right time. And then you've got that wonderful cross coming in from George Evans. Super bauble. Where's the Wrexham players getting on the end of it? Where's the movement?
Free kick Salford. Mariappa pushed halfway inside his own half. And Cairns, the goalkeeper, will come out to take this. And, well, we had blazing sunshine for the first 10 minutes of the game. And now, if my eyes don't deceive me, the rain is coming down again in North Wales. A day for all the seasons. And Salford raining on Wrexham's parade at the moment. They lead by a goal to nil. Matt Smith, the scorer, and the home fans who are right behind us here in the Wrexham Lager stand. They're getting on the back of Alex Cairns, who then eventually clears long over halfway, and it's going to skitter through towards James McLean in the byline, up by the corner flag. Might have an option to tow it back to his goalkeeper here. That might be his only option. In fact, he's found O'Connell, who's dropped deepest into the penalty area. Smith is still following him. O'Connell over halfway, looking for the run of Aaron James, but was beaten to it by Garbutt, headed down into the path of Stevie Mallon. The slide tackle comes in from Bolton, now over halfway into the Wrexham half. Salford coming forward. Oh, offside flag up against Declan John on the far side, and he looked in a suspicious amount of room there. But again, 2 quick passes from that Salford midfield pocket, and it's been given away. Oh, massive deflection from a long shot, and it's curved over the bar. And Stevie Mallon, well, he had the ball presented to him from a Wrexham stop, 25 yards out, hit the long shot. It cannoned up wickedly off the back of the defender, and completely out of nothing goes for a corner. Wrexham making problems for themselves at the back here. They trail by a goal to nil.
You can't keep giving the ball away like the home side are. Certainly over on that right hand side on a couple of occasions. Stay on side, which is all they had to do. If they do that, another opportunity.
Well, the goal came from a corner. This time it's from the other side, whipped towards the front post, and rising for it, looking resplendent as he rose, was Lund. He got there way ahead of everyone else, but his header did not have the accuracy, and it floated out on the far side for a Wrexham goal kick. Let's see if they use this one better. From the dead ball situation, 23 on the clock down the far end of the ground. Hayden, the recipient of the goalkeeper's short pass, floats it over halfway towards Palmer. Flick on looking for Mullin, and he's coming forward now. Mullin, oh, he's got around the defender. It's Paul Mullin, oh, he's put it over the bar. And he managed to get away from Adrian Mariappa, who is now in the ear of the referee, complaining that should have been a free kick. I think that Mullin was just too strong for him there, peeled away from him, should have done better on the finish.
Oh, what a chance. If you wanted to fall to anybody, it's Paul Mullen. I mean, could he have taken another touch into the 18-yard box? He's looking at the ground, isn't he, as if it's bobbled up just in front of him. He fires it over the top of the crossbar, but great strength to get away from Mariappa. But that's the threat, the pace that he's got in behind. And he needs to be involved in the game a lot more than he has been so far.
Now Palmer to chase a long ball down. The rain is coming down heavily, but Palmer has won it. Up against Tilt on the edge of the penalty area. Tilt not giving up on this one. He's forced it out towards the corner flag. And he has managed somehow there, from under the cosh, to win a throw-in for Salford City, who lead after 24 minutes in this game. Give you a couple of later scores. It's still Crewe 1, Tranmere 0. Stockport still leading at Harrogate by a goal to 0. MK Don still 1-0 up on Barrow. We finally got a goal in League One. Leyton Orient leading at Carlisle, and the rain is now throwing it down against the metal roof of this stand. Salford have recycled the ball at the back, and Garbutt will bring it up towards halfway. Looking for Declan John, stopped by Aaron James, and toes it out for what he thought, and all of those around him in the main stand thought should have been a Wrexham ball, but it's been given the other way by the referee Ben Toner. Here comes Garbutt back into the Salford defence, going to go find Cairns. Cairns short into Mariappa, who has a bit of green space in front of him now. 25 gone on Talksport 2. Don't forget, stick around after this. 5:30 kick-off in the WSL. Chelsea against West Ham. And on Talksport, we've got coverage of the Super League Grand Final between Wigan and Catalan Dragons at Old Trafford. And in the boxing, KSI versus Tommy Fury, taking you through the evening. Here's Lund, 10 yards inside the Salford half. Goes back into Mariappa. Just a slight bit of pressure from Wrexham. Mullin the furthest forward of the red shirts, but it's comfortably at the feet of Cairns, the goalkeeper. Now back to Mariappa again, and he's completely misplaced his pass to the mirth of the home fans around us. Couldn't find Lund, and it's out for a throw-in to Wrexham's Lee. He goes back inside his own half, and the tempo's dropped a bit, hasn't it, Mickey?
Yeah, it has, and I think the weather has as well. It's incredible. We've had every single weather today, haven't we? Just waiting for some snow to drop. But you're right, I think we're going to get times in the game where it gets scrappy.
Been given away again by Wrexham, and but for the hard work of James McLean to win it back off Luke Bolton, that could have been trouble. It was given away by Okonkwo, the goalkeeper, but now it's forward towards Mullin. He's got defenders all around him. He's 45 yards out from goal, but he's still managed to hold it up. Brings in Aaron James, and there are now men in red shirts in the penalty area. Oh, it was a short ball, and Mullin wanted it, and he throws his hands out in frustration. It's gifted back to Salford, who tried to cut through the defence with an incisive through ball, but it is mopped up by Hayden. Missed opportunity for both sides, you could say, as the rain continues to throw itself down in North Wales. It's Wrexham 0, Salford City 1. Back from McLean towards O'Connor it goes. Further back now to the deepest lying red shirt of Owen O'Connell. And now Okonkwo to kick long over halfway. Deep into the Salford half. And to be watched back towards Cairns by Garbutt. And the goalkeeper takes a moment to stand on the ball and peruses his options. It's been a steady first half so far. Salford leading by a goal to 0. Not been blessed with goals in the 3 o'clock kickoff so far. Still just that one goal for Leyton Orient at Carlisle in League 1. Going through League 2. Doncaster now leading at Sutton as well. Wrexham in a game that's been rather even, trying to get back into this, but they haven't got possession at the moment. Smith on halfway, the goal scorer. Plays it backwards towards Watt. He's shoved off it by James Jones. Salford will keep it though with Ingram. Near side, the right flank for the visitors. Tries to look for Bolton, doesn't find him, only finds the shins of Elliot Lee.
Well, as you can see, I mean, the way the game has set itself up now, hasn't it, Cameron? You can see that they're trying to get Paul Mullin involved in the game. I'd like to see Ollie Palmer playing a little bit closer to him. I think that they're too spread apart. They have to do things as an individual when they should be working as a pair of those centre forwards for Wrexham, and I think they'll create more opportunities in doing that. We've seen some great bits of skill, haven't we, from Paul Mullin. Should have really got himself on the score sheet, but after that, a lovely little turn on the halfway line, and it just gets things going. The moves become quicker. You can see everybody reacts to what he does. But now you can see Salford, whenever they just keep that ball, they're being very patient until they have to have a little look up, looking for Matt Smith, play that long ball, and then look for the knockdowns.
Remains Wrexham 0, Salford City 1. Through ball for Salford, looking for Bolton, corner of the penalty area, but it's mopped up quickly. And the home side will clear the lines into the feet of Lee. Still halfway inside his own half, got Ingram over his shoulder, so wisely goes back to his goalkeeper Okonkwo. loops it forward up towards halfway, but right underneath that was Lund, heads it down, and well, he should have found his teammate Bolton there. Instead it's been presented back to Wrexham. Forward comes McLean on halfway, into Lee, who only had white shirts around him. Now it's Ingram who comes up with it for Salford. Sun back out at Kairas. I can hardly keep up with the weather, and it's Salford who are in control of this one. Given away in the centre circle, Mullin has gone down again. Some of the Wrexham players are looking to the referee, wanting him to stop, but they're moving this ball forward anyway. Out to the far side, right flank it goes. Is there going to be a cross coming in from James? Gets the ricochet off the defender Garbett, and it's going to be a corner kick, and it arcs out right over the top of the corner flag there. So there were a few glances from the red shirt of the home side to check where it would be a corner or a throw-in. A chance now for them to get back into this game once more. 29 on the clock. Cameron Pope and Mickey Graham comms. You're listening to Talksport 2. And well, we've seen them come close so far. It's going to be another in-swinger a la James McLean. Plenty of tall targets to aim for. Here he goes, bends it in, hits a defender. Elliot Watt with the header away. Followed up by Garbett, who ham-fists the clearance down the line, but only presents it towards James Jones. Now forward at the line it goes. Might there be a cross to come in on the end of this? All the red shirts clustered in the penalty area. Here it comes, the long ball towards Hayden at the back post. Comfortably cleared by the defence, and it will be helped on its way by Lund, who for good measure gets the wrap off the shins of Lee. And Salford dealt with the pressure well. They have a throw-in halfway inside their own half. They lead 1-0.
Well, the final ball into the area, I mean, they've got to try and keep it away from Matt Smith, Wrexham, when they put that ball into the box. You know, if you're going to try and do that, avoid the big man, because there's too much height on it. It's meat and drink to him. He's just going to clear his lines from there. Lund does very well after that, but you can see the pressure starting to come from the home side. Get it in those wide areas a lot quicker and a lot better, but that quality in that final third, it's just got to be a little bit better.
Here comes Mallon for Salford once again, and the home fans getting a little bit restless now with how long Salford are taking. Do you have to be careful at the moment? You don't have to rush, I guess, is what players will argue. Well, we've seen so far this season that referees, after the directive from IFAB, they're cracking down on things like time wasting, unsportsmanlike conduct. There's a flying tackle there from James Jones. He's won the ball back. Oh, he's been held up. Referee says play on advantage. Jones 30 yards out, but he balloons it over the bar. Good play from James Jones. I wonder if he might have rather had the free kick there. He was trying to move away from Elliot Watt, who fouled him. He then got away from him, was tripped up, still managed to keep himself going forward, then ballooned a shot over the bar. Didn't have too many options in red. I think he would have rather had the free kick
And
there.
what I don't understand here, Cameron, is the referee's now gone across to have a word with Elliot Watt to say, listen, no holding like that, or you're going to get yourself in a book. So he should have come back with that and given the free kick, because the opportunity then gone. Shoots over the top of the crossbar, but I thought you're right. The better opportunity could have come from a dead ball situation where you give the chance for your centre-halves to come forward.
Well, there was no booking, to my great surprise, and to the surprise of the home fans all around us. 31 and a half minutes gone at Kairas. Listening to Talksport 2, Wrexham trails Salford by a 1-0, but they're on the attack, the home side. Palmer has a throw-in just up by the corner flag. Back up the line towards McLean. Gets a cross in way over the head of Mullin, though. There was nobody in there. Nobody in there in a red shirt. Only half cleared. Followed up by Evans. Forward by Hayden over the top. Misses everyone in red and straight through comfortably to the hands of Alex Cairns. There's a disgruntled shout of, "What are you doing?" from one of the Wrexham fans behind us. It's been that kind of game at times for them so far. There's an arcing ball forward from Salford, straight into the heart of the Wrexham defence. 50-50 ball goes Salford's way, and again, the home fans are disgruntled. They trail with 13 minutes of normal time left in this first half. It's been fragmented, hasn't it, Mick?
Well, look, if I'm speaking about Wrexham, I think the frustration comes from them getting into some really good areas. But that final ball into the box, it's just not been good enough.
I'm going to break off from you there because Declan John is coming forward, finds a man out on the left-hand side, cut into the penalty area just ahead of Matthew Lund. They're going to try and move it back once more. Mallon was in there too. It's come up with a red shirt, that of Evans. Going to get his pass away and finds O'Connor, who lost a lovely ball downfield. And now McLean is chasing it. Counter-attack from Wrexham. Tilt is there. He's got to make the right choice here on his own, the defender. And he does really well to play it into the shins of the oncoming McLean and wings a defensive throw-in for Salford. And they still lead by a 0-0. 33 minutes gone. But you were saying there, Mickey, as well, they've had chances, Wrexham. They've got the ball into the right areas of the field. And they've just been held up for a moment now because Curtis Tilt is tying his laces, or he's tucking his sock into his shoe, and the home fans are right on the top of him. Doesn't help that it's right in front of us here as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you can sense the frustration from the home supporters because they want to get on with it. They want to try and get to level terms if they possibly can.
And the throw-in still hasn't come in, and I'm sorry if you've heard any colourful language. We are right in the midst of the Wrexham supporters here at Kairas. But I think the sentiment comes across rather colourfully, but rather clearly. Header forward, a defensive one into the path of Palmer, but he couldn't chase it down, and Tilt was there anyway. Wrestling match with the goalkeeper, but Cairns comes out for it, and it's to safety for Salford again, who lead 1-0 here in this League Two clash. Just 4 points separating the pair at kick-off. Wrexham the better off. Salford have won their last 3 league games though, and they're into the lead here. They're still playing it out from the back despite the problems that it's caused for them at moments. Played forward by Mariappa into Lund, who gets the back heel flick towards Bolton, still inside their own half. It's given away by Watts. O'Connor seizing it back for Wrexham, and now into the centre circle for Hayden first, then O'Connell, now Leon halfway. Everyone behind the ball for Salford City at the moment. Back to the deepest lying red shirt of O'Connell again. Halfway with James Jones. Nobody further forward for him. Has to go sideways once more and into the feet of O'Connor. Looking to go forward. Has to go sideways still. It's still not coming for him. Looking for a red shirt to present. Goes long. Route 1. Wrong option in the end. Over the head of Palmer. McLean was too far off the pace, and well, in a rather sorry passage of play that's ended up with the ball back in the hands of the Salford keeper. They didn't play a goal to nil.
It's a problem, sorry Karen. Wing backs, I mean, look how easy Salford are getting out.
And they're through again. Declan John bearing down on the attacking third. He's got men in the centre. Lund is there, so is Smith, but it's still Declan John. Here comes the Bolton Loney into the penalty area, gets around the goalkeeper, has a shot, saved, put into the back of the net by Matty Lund. Oh, it was a real mess of Wrexham's own making. And it's a mute celebration from Salford. It's as if they can hardly believe the ball's gone into the back of the net. They're away towards the away fans once more. They lead by 2-0. And there are askew glances on the faces of the Wrexham players, who are looking around, not quite sure, it seems, what has hit them. And in the press box, we're not quite sure as well. An easy ball played down the left flank. Declan John weaving his way in between the defenders. It then bounced up off a Wrexham shirt. Lund was there, tapped it in underneath the goalkeeper, who I don't think could do much about it, Arthur Okonkwo. And after 36 minutes here in League 2, it's Wrexham 0, Salford 2.
Well, they're shell-shocked, aren't they, Wrexham, at the moment? Because, as I was just going to say, I think when you're playing with wing-backs, they push forward, but it leaves gaps in behind. They get the opportunity to work that ball down the left-hand side. Brilliant play to get the ball in the box. Good save initially from Okonkwo. But then Matty Lund gets 2 bites at the cherry. First one, he's waiting there. The second one then bounces straight back to him, and it's a little flick with the outside of his right foot. Finds its way into the back of the net, and that all just boils down to frustration of not getting yourself back on level terms and having to push too hard and leaving too many gaps and spaces at the back.
Well, they're unbeaten in 4 in all competitions, Wrexham, and that record is seriously under threat now. On Talksport 2, they trail by 2-0. Smith and Lund the scorers for Salford. Wrexham trying to come forward, but they looked off the pace at times. Forward they come, with Evans in the centre circle. Sprays it out to the far side right for Aaron James. Cuts it back as the rain continues to come down. Evans forward, looking for the run of Elliot Lee. Not a bad ball, just over the top of him. Out on the full though still, and it's a goal kick to Alex Cairns.
Well, again, it's a super ball into the box, from an area where you should have a player in front of your face. Salford players should be there. They're not in the faces. James Jones just get the head up, whips that ball into the box. But I think that midfield area has been a real contest, but I think at the moment Salford are winning. Wrexham have got to get themselves on the front foot. They've got to start pressing like they were in the first 5 to 6 minutes of this game.
Well, we've got 2 of the best midfielders in League 2 on show, Elliot Watt and Elliot Lee. And well, it's the Salford one and his team who are bossing this one so far. Here's Lund, scorer of Salford's second, in the centre circle. Sharing passes with Garbett, and the second one goes a bit astray, so Garbett has to chase backwards deep into his own half. The ball's gone all the way back now towards Cairns. No press from Wrexham. 37.5 on the clock. Cameron Pope and the former England international left-back Mickey Gray alongside me. You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL, and don't forget that Talksport Breakfast returns at 6 a.m. on Monday morning. Natalie Sawyer is going to be joined by the former Aston Villa midfielder Andy Townsend to look back at all the weekend's football, including this, on the international break. As Wrexham look to come forward again. Mullin, 30 yards out from goal, with his back to it, finds Lee on the overlap. Now on the right foot, trying to get onto the left foot, get a cross in, dangerous towards the back post, and Garbett did the sensible thing there of chesting it behind, because he knew that the chase was on from James Jones behind him, and it's going to be another Wrexham corner, but Salford lead 2-0, 38 gone.
Yeah, what a ball. Brilliant from Elliot Lee, now getting away from Matty Lund a little bit, trying to influence the game himself here. But this is what I'm talking about, Cameron. Quality from set pieces. James McLean's got to try and find an area. They've got to get themselves back into this game before half time.
Palmer in there, Mullin 2. Here comes Sean McLean, curls towards the back post. Elliot Lee, off the underside of the bar and in. And the defender tried to get there on the line, couldn't clear it. And Elliot Lee has got Wrexham right back in this game towards the end of the first half. 8 league goals for him. So often Wrexham's talisman this season. And well, it's been a shaky start for the home side here at Kairas. But Elliot Lee's header from James McLean's corner has made this a 1-point ball game all over again. It's Wrexham 1, Salford 2.
That's what quality brings you. Talked about having a good set piece. James McLean whips that ball to the back stick, and probably one of the smallest players out there. It's a free header at the back stick, but if you don't take the chance to get in there and get yourself on the score sheet, you're not going to take those risks. What a lovely header, I have to say. Pash Cairns, super little header there, absolutely fantastic. They talked about getting themselves back into the game before half-time. Well, they've certainly done that now.
Oh, it was a lovely header. The in-swinger from the far side, Wrexham right from McLean, right onto the head of Lee. He then heads it back across goal. Cairns can't get near it. There was a defender who tried to get there, only served to clip it onto the crossbar, and in it goes. But still, Okonkwo and Wrexham are continuing to play out from the back and almost allowing Salford in again. They've gone up to halfway, though. Lee plays it backwards towards Evans, and now the tone has changed around us. Salford back in possession halfway inside their own half. Garbutt coming forward, out towards Declan John on the halfway line. Welshman looks infield, finds Watt in the centre circle. Salford leading by 2-1, but maybe a momentum shift at Kairas now. Forward by Mariappa, right over the top, looking for the run of Elliot Watt, headed away by O'Connor. And Wrexham will take the sting out of that by going back to their goalkeeper. Not the cleanest of controls by Okonkwo. Arsenal Loney had to steady himself before bringing in O'Connor. Then it does go long, and now here comes McLean over halfway, looking to get a ball down the flank. Mullin's not got the pace to reach this one, and it's going to be watched out by Mariappa, who then gets a thump in the back from Paul Mullin. Just the centre forward's challenge, really. Ever on the end of a few of those, Mickey, I imagine.
Shoved a few off in my left back position in my years that I was playing football. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could see there as James McLean was just got his head up there. All he had was Paul Mullin to play down the line. He couldn't really play it inside because Mariappa was in a good position just to sweep that one up and then start to move themselves. But they're growing into it, aren't they? I think they're now starting to make that system work for them. I was going to touch on the wing backs. They've got to get themselves pushed forward and make an influence on the game.
Forward comes the dead ball from Cairns, and it's taken down by Stevie Mallon, 35 yards out. The Scot looking to turn and play in Smith, but he can't reach him. Cleared away by Wrexham. 41 gone on Talksport 2. Wrexham trailing by 2-1. McMullen coming forward up towards the corner flag, gets the cross in. Oh, he's up there again. Palmer this time trying to get a header down. He thinks he was held, got it way off target in the end, and he's helped back up to his feet by Curtis Tilt. There were options in the penalty area. Mullin did well to find him, but the header not as potent as that of Elliot Lee from the corner a few minutes ago, and it's out uncontested for a goal kick to Salford City. I'm going to take you through a few scores on this international break Saturday. Forest Green have just got a goal elsewhere in League 2. They lead Colchester by 1-0. MK Dons now lead Barrow by 2-0, and we've had another goal in League 1 as well. Blackpool leading Stevenage 1-0 in that one as Tilt comes forward for Salford City in the centre circle. He was arcing a ball out towards the near side right flank looking for Bolton, but he's overhit it, and now it goes for a throw-in. 42 minutes gone. Cameron Pope and the former Sunderland left back Mickey Gray, your commentary team on Talksport 2, and we've been treated to 3 goals so far, 2 of them to the visitors Salford City, but it's Wrexham who are trying to play out of their own half. O'Connor with the throw-in, has it blocked, has a second go up towards Mullin. And now towards Lee. Lund, just inside his own half, is trying to hold up play. Can't nick it back off the red shirts, though, and there are raptures of applause around us in the Wrexham Lager stand. Back into the defence towards Hayden. O'Connor going over the top, and there are arms in the air from the Salford men, and there's a man coming from deep. And forward comes McLean. He's picked it up left edge of the penalty area. Salford was stood stock still, and the cross does come in from McLean in the end. Mariappa, the experienced head, reacting first, getting the block in. That could have been very different. It's a corner, but Salford were caught flat-footed there.
Well, I mean, everybody just switched off as if it was going through to the goalkeeper, but James McLean, to his credit, he was on his toes, he got in, but he had a pull back there for Ollie Palmer just to set him up. Tried to take his full back on and whip that ball into the box.
Here he comes again then. Wrexham trailing by 2-1. McLean on the corner. It was up towards Elliot Lee, and the head came in again. Defensive one from Matt Smith, who's still down in the penalty area actually, out towards McLean. Edge of the penalty area. Wrexham looking for an equaliser late in the first half. 43.5 on the watch at Kai Rush. Evans in a battle with Bolton. Bolton's got the blocker. Not only that, he's played it off the Wrexham man, who I don't think has realised yet. And it will be a defensive throw up by the corner flag. They're starting to come back into it though, the home side.
Yeah, they are. And again, Matt Smith with the clearance there. He was the centre forward who was on the ground in his own 18-yard box. He's been influential at both ends of the pitch, hasn't he? But James McLean is now starting to show a lot more influence in the game. He's getting away from his mark. He's put some lovely balls into the box, and that's what I wanted to see earlier on.
Pinching a few yards there, Ingram again on the throw-in. Comes to nothing in the end though. He managed the javelin the throw towards the centre circle, but it was cleared long and it goes out for his own goal kick. We've had 44 minutes here in North Wales. Wrexham 1, Salford City 2 on this Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. And the sun is back with a vengeance. Mickey is holding his hand to his face to try and check the tablet. And we're really straining into the sunlight here. It must take an effect on the players too. And forward comes Palmer, mind you. 35 yards out, up against Tilt. Might go for a long shot here, and well, he got a deflection, or so he thinks. Now, gone for a goal kick it has in the end. He rocks it onto his right foot, and Mullin is absolutely furious that he wasn't picked out there by Palmer, who did all the work himself, 35 yards out, shrugged off the defender, tried to drop a shot in, maybe wasn't the right option in the end, but he gets a furious look from the strike comrade. It remains 2-1 to the away side.
He was furious, wasn't he, Cameron? Mullin there, Paul Mullin, he was absolutely furious because there was a simple ball to play out to the right-hand side. I think it was James Jones who was there. And then the ball would have been in to play Paul Mullin, but it's a centre forward, and I think a little bit of greed, I have to say.
Well, there was a shout from behind us that I thought was interesting. Play as a team. And they've got a lot of stars for League Two in this side, Wrexham. Can they all play in a cohesive unit? Long ball forward comes up towards Ollie Palmer, bounces off him. Out towards the right-hand side it comes. Might be a run here for James Jones. Jones gets the crossing towards the back post. It might have been a shot, actually, but either way, same result. No one on the end of it. And it's out for a goal kick. And more now we've seen Wrexham come forward as we come into 4 minutes of added time. They still trail by 2-1, but that final bit of quality has been a little bit lacking from the newly promoted side. We're going to have a slight delay here because there were 2 balls on the field of play, and Ethan Ingram is going to get a yellow card. Now, I don't know if that's a bit harsh there, and I want to get your take on this, Mickey, because what's happened was there were 2 balls on the field of play. Ingram, who was stood quite centrally, has kicked one off. I think he's just slightly undercooked it. It's not rolled off, and now there's another yellow card it's come out, and it's come for Curtis Tilt, probably for his reaction. So Ingram booked for not kicking the ball off the field on the full, and I don't know if he was time wasting there. That feels a little bit harsh to me.
Well, I think from his reaction, maybe he knew exactly what he was doing. I think they want to try and get to half-time, don't they, Cammy? They want to try and make sure that they're in front of the away side. So he didn't put too much pace on that one to try and clear it. And you're right, there was 2 balls on the pitch, but the second yellow card, Curtis Tilt, I mean, it's just crazy.
It's utterly avoidable, isn't it? Wrexham coming forward again. Mullin 35 yards out. He's got a man in the centre, and it's Palmer. Cuts it back towards James Jones. Into the penalty area, goes down. Referee gives a free kick to Salford, and he's applauded by Matthew London. There's a yellow card that's come out for James Jones, and there are boos now from around us in the stand where we are. And James Jones, well, referee seemed very clear in his mindset there. Ben Toner, yellow card was straight out of the pocket, I'm assuming for simulation. He was right behind it there, the referee. Awards the free kick to Salford on the edge of their penalty area, and it is Salford who lead by 2-1. We've had 2 minutes of the 4 added. Cairns to take the goal kick, and well, we've seen a few of the dark arts from Salford City, but an avoidable first yellow card for Wrexham. And it's Cairns who kicks long from the free kick. Downfield up towards where Smith is waiting for it. And there's going to be a free kick given again now, and another Salford one. I think for handball, was it given in the centre circle?
I think
it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I think as Matthew Lund was heading that ball down, you could just see the right foot of Elliot Lee just poking out towards Lund as if, you know, he was trying to win the ball, but he was absolutely miles away from it.
It's a strange one. It's a very strange one, and the sentiment's been echoed by those around us in the Wrexham Lager stand. 48 gone now. We're playing at least until 49. Free kick for Salford City. 45 yards out. Everyone behind the ball for Salford, for Wrexham, who trail by 2-1. John out to the left-hand side. Here comes the crossing from Garbutt, flicked on goalwards. Goalkeeper's going to come for it. Bounces once, and the Okonkwo is there. And he's got 1 minute now of added time to try and find a red shirt and get upfield. He's gone for a throw towards Mullin. What a throw! Wow. 60 yards on the throw-in from the Arsenal loanee. The only problem was there was no one around Paul Mullin. and Wrexham have had to go back into their own half. Forward they'll come now. It's a misplaced pass towards Jones. He sneaks under his foot, and Garbett, by way of Watt, can clear Salford's lines. They lead by 2-1. Cameron Pope and Mickey Gray on Talksport 2. Don't forget this, the second of 3 live football commentaries on Talksport 2 today. 5:30 kick-off in the WSL to come. Chelsea against West Ham. We're into the final few seconds of added time. It's been given away in their own half by Wrexham. Smith trying to pounce on it for Salford. Skews the ball out to where he thought Bolton would be on his right-hand flank, but he's played it out on the full, and Wrexham have a throw-in in the left-back position. Well, it's been waved at by the referee, who is telling Ingram to come away. Ingram was sure that it was going to be his throw-in. We've now got O'Connor being moved back by the referee on what's sure to be the last act of the first half. Forward it goes to Palmer, and there goes the referee's whistle. Well, chopping and changing the momentum in this first period. Wrexham 1, Salford 2, the half-time score here in North Wales. 2-goal lead for the visitors, looking to continue their winning run in the league and stretch it to 4. Smith with a header after 15 minutes, followed up by Lund 10 minutes out from the half. Elliot Lee got the home side back in it with a header of his own, and a lovely one too, back across the face of goal. It's had a bit of everything, Mickey Gray.
Well, we don't come here not expecting goals, do we? We certainly had that in the first half, and it was the away side that you have to give credit for. They were patient, they wait for their opportunities, and they played to their strengths, which is why Matt Smith got himself on the score sheet after 15 minutes. It was a great ball, well-worked corner, got away from his marker, super finish. But then the second one was a bit bizarre, wasn't it? Good work down that left-hand side yet again. I think it was from Garbett. Super save from the goalkeeper. As it comes out to one of the best players in this division, in Matty Lund, he's got one strike at it. The second one, he just pokes it with his right foot. And then you're just thinking the away side are going to cruise to half-time. But there was a nice reaction from Wrexham, wasn't it? They got themselves back into it. Lovely little finish there from Elliot Lee. Lovely little move from the back stick. But this is why I keep saying every time I do League One and League Two games, set pieces are so important. One of the smallest men on the pitch, Elliot Lee, just runs to the back stick, hits the target, and he finds himself getting his 8th league goal of the season, which is absolutely fantastic. So it sets it up perfect for the second 45 minutes.
What's been different about Wrexham in that you can almost divide that first period into 2 halves, and there were shouts around us that I found really intriguing, that telling this side to play as a team. Now they've got a lot of big players, okay, they've got a lot of big in stature players, big name players who've got unquestionable ability at this level. I'm talking about Palmer, I'm talking about your Mullins, your Elliot Lees. Is there a sense of that, or is that just griping from home fans? How much credence do you put on that?
Well, look, if you're going to win football matches, you've got to get it up to your 2 forward players. And, as you mentioned there, Elliot Lee, who's having a brilliant season. Getting his 8th goal of the season as well, which is fantastic return. But at times, I just think they're playing with these wing-backs, and James McLean needed to get involved in the game a lot more. He probably realised that with the experience that he's got. Well, he certainly did in the last 10 or 15 minutes of the game. But on that right-hand side, we talked about Aaron James. He's not played much first-team football. But when he gets into positions, I think his final ball into the box has just been a little bit scrappy. But that's me, like, maybe over-criticising a little bit, because I think he's done really well. But you've got to show more confidence. You're the home side. You've got to take the game to Salford. If they don't do that, then this game is just going to breeze by them. So I think you could look at either side of it. Defensively, both teams could be a little bit better, set pieces, as they've got to defend and clear the lines a little bit. But offensively, let's see a little bit more quality.
Well, let's have a quick whistle-stop tour then, shall we, through the games that have gone ahead in this international break in League 1 and League 2. Starting with League 1, 4 games to tell you about. All these are half-time. Blackpool 1, Stevenage 0, Cambridge 0, Shrewsbury 0, Leyton Orient lead by a goal to 0 away at Carlisle. It's also Lincoln 0, Burton 0. Moving into League 2. Earlier kick-off on Talksport 2, brought to you live by Ian Danton. Notts County 1, Mansfield 4 in the Nottinghamshire derby. Mansfield continuing their unbeaten record at the home of what were the top boys in League 2. Elsewhere in the 3 o'clock kick-offs, 0-0 between AFC Wimbledon and Bradford City. Crewe lead Tranmere by a goal to 0. Doncaster are 1-up against Sutton at home. Forest Green doing themselves a big favour down the bottom. They lead Colchester by a goal to 0. It's goalless between Grimsby and Accrington. Stockport doing well in League 2. They lead 1-0 away at Harrogate. MK Dons are 2-0 up against Barrow. Morecambe Crawley not going ahead, so it's Swindon and Newport the next game. That's 1-0 to Swindon. Took an early lead. Walsall 2, Gillingham 0. And well, in the game here, I hazard a guess and say it's been the most exciting. There was a 2-0 lead for the away side. Wrexham getting themselves back into this game. The half-time score is Wrexham 1, Salford 2. And this is Game Day Live on Talksport 2, bringing you live an exclusive commentary of this clash in North Wales, and the second half comes next.
The unstoppable force of live football.
Brilliant goal!
EFL Game Day Live
On Talksport 2.
Holly and Shanice are prepping for a big weekend away, and it needs to go exactly to plan. So they need to know exactly what they're getting, like the choice of over 800 hotels.
Yes! Right in the centre!
So they're only moments away from where they want to be.
Woo!
With a super comfy bed waiting for them at the end of the night. And with checkout by 12 p.m, they can even hit snooze. Enjoy the same feeling whatever the trip. Premier Inn. Rest easy. Only available to book at premierinn.com.
Imagine how it'd feel to win £10,000. Like you'd smashed it. With Set for Life, you could win £10,000 every month for 30 years. Set for Life from the National Lottery. Play on the app. Prize may be capped. Account terms, rules, procedures and game-specific rules apply. Players must be 18 or over.
If your client is not happy with the quality of your work and wants compensation because they allege it's amateurish, unprofessional and childlike, Hiscox could help protect you. The story of your business. Underwritten by Hiscox Business Insurance. Subject to already holding a relevant Hiscox policy and subject policy eligibility, terms and conditions.
Streaming exclusively on Disney+.
You have lost your way.
Loki returns.
What I'm about to tell you is going to be hard to believe again.
And only the god of mischief stands between us.
It's up to us to save this place.
And the destruction of every past, present, and future.
You're a villain. You're good at it. Always have been. Always will be.
Starring Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson. Marvel Studios' Loki. New season now streaming exclusively on Disney+. 18+ subscription required. T's and C's apply.
Calling all business owners, this is your captain speaking.
Are you tired of taking care of business while your phone lags behind? Well, listen up, my friends, because the new iPhone 15 Pro has just landed and it's available right now on EE, the UK's best network. iPhone 15 Pro is built for business, whether you're on the road, in the office, or in the sky. BT and EE, better for business.
Best for network performance. Verified ee.co.uk/claims. Terms apply. Coverage and experience may vary by location.
Paint your walls a shade that'll get your neighbours staring. At Wix, get Dulux Standard 2.5 litre coloured emulsion. Was £21, now £15. Be house proud with Wix. Terms apply.
Only the finest alpine cheese from Swiss mountain dairies is expertly matured in underground caves for a full-bodied, fruity flavour in our scrumptious Tesco Finest Reserve Swiss Gruyere. All that so you can pop it in a toastie. And maybe even set the table. Make your everyday taste better with Tesco Finest. Available in the majority of larger stores. Excludes Express and Whoosh.
Saddle up for live British horse racing on the radio.
And they're on.
Direct from Bath.
It's another paper-throwing display from the crowd.
Wednesday afternoon from 2 on Talksport 2.
Game Day. The best spine-tingling commentary.
And it's in.
EFL Game Day Live
On Talksport
2. Wrighton delivers left-footed. Sanka heads it in.
To be honest, we all probably wouldn't be here if we didn't believe in this team. It's an amazing group of girls and we have something special brewing.
Wrighton takes over, lays it square. Kirby taps it in.
I think the goal is always the same. It's always to play well. It's always to give everything when you go out on the pitch, and it's always, try and win as many trophies as you can.
Guru Wrighton manages to come in goal. She nutmegs the goalkeeper. Guru Wrighton.
Obviously, we want to compete for every single trophy. I think that goes without saying.
They're a really difficult side, Chelsea, and they find ways to get points and they find ways to win, don't they?
Well, this is where West Ham can threaten. It's Smith with the deep corner to the far post, and it's headed in by Bryn Yarsdottir.
It's a really good start, to be honest, and definitely loads of positives to build on.
Whipped in by Kankovic, the header from Kerr! 1-1! Chelsea have done what they do best!
This is Chelsea, man. We're fighting for every trophy. Anyone we drop or we lose, we aren't happy about it, so we're going for them all.
This is the WSL on Talksport 2. You're listening to EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2, where it's half-time, it's Wrexham 1, Salford City 2, second half commentary to come. But following us, we'll bring you more live Women's Super League action as Chelsea host West Ham. Joe Shannon will be alongside the former Liverpool striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk for commentary. And Joe joins me now. How are you doing, Joe? And what have you got for us today?
Yeah, very good afternoon. It's bright and sunny here in the southwest of the capital. The floodlights are on at the tiny Kings Meadow ground. Holds just under 5,000 or so, and a really important early season game in the Women's Super League for the champions Chelsea, who've been there and done it so often in the history of this top flight of women's football. 6 all-time WSL titles, and this season they go for 5 in a row. They've started with 4 points from their first 2 matches, a draw salvaged at Manchester City last time out thanks to Guro Reiten's injury time equaliser, and they're up against West Ham United, who've had something of a shift in perspective over the summer break. Paul Konchesky left the club, and Rhian Skinner, who used to be the Tottenham head coach, is now the person installed in the West Ham United dugout. Not a great deal of expectation or indeed pressure on West Ham today, Cameron. They've never beaten Chelsea in the Women's Super League. Chelsea have dominated this fixture in the past and are such a formidable force at home. But, of course, such is the unpredictability of the WSL so far this season. We've already seen 1 or 2 shock results. You never know what could happen, but as far as Chelsea are concerned, they'll be expecting a home victory, and Chelsea know that you simply can't afford to drop really any points in the race for the WSL title season upon season.
Well, Chelsea looking to continue their WSL domination. Crazy game last time out, Joe, at Manchester City. And I think that feeds into what you're saying about you never quite know what to expect from the Women's Super League. What about West Ham, though? You know, not playing with the burden of expectation. Could they surprise a few people this season, do you think?
Well, they could do, quite possibly. As I say, there have been changes off the field in terms of the head coach. That's been the biggest alteration. I don't think West Ham really had any other option but to make a change in the summer. They had a season of 2 halves, if you like, in 22-23. They started the campaign really, really well, but then they won just 1 league game in the whole of the second half of the season. They still ended pretty comfortably clear of the drop zone, of that 1 relegation position, but decided to part ways with Paul Konchesky. And as I say, Rhian Skinner is an experienced campaigner, spent 2.5 years in charge of Tottenham Hotspur, and I think the start to the season has been pretty reasonable from West Ham's perspective. They were beaten by Manchester City on the opening weekend. Okay, I don't think that's a game that many would have expected them to get something out of, but a good win at Brighton away from home in the WSL last weekend. They followed that up with a Conti Cup, a League Cup victory at home to Charlton Athletic on Wednesday. So they're not quite as fresh as Chelsea, but as we all know in football, winning is a good habit, and winning and playing regular matches and winning regularly is a good habit to get into. So they'll come today, as you say, Cam. There won't be too much expectation or pressure on their shoulders, but I think it's always a great occasion to come up against the champions, whatever league you're in, and that may well spur them on.
Certainly sounds it. Thanks very much, Joe. That's Talksport's Joe Shannon. He'll be with Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. The commentary of that one. A reminder, you can hear Chelsea against West Ham in the WSL live on Talksport 2 following coverage of our game here at Kairas. Talksport is also your home of boxing, and tonight we bring you commentary of a huge grudge match in Manchester.
October 14th. This will be the day that you'll hate for the rest of your life. When I beat you. Soon you will face reality and it will hurt you. You will be a disgrace to the Fury name. You don't want this as much as I do. You don't need this as much as I do. No pressure, Tommy. I'll see you soon.
We're shaking. Oh.
Who am I? KSI. Yeah,
you're not
different.
KSI.
What do you mean I'm not?
That's not your name, mate.
Fury blitzed him from the first bell, and in the first round, it's all over.
From the word go, this is going to be fireworks.
What a knockout!
There's nothing that he can do. There's nothing that KSI has that worries me whatsoever.
So you can hear live commentary of the Misfits match between KSI and Tommy Fury on Talksport from 8 p.m. tonight, with commentary from Don McGuinness, Gareth A. Davis and Spencer Oliver. Time now to hear from the YouTuber KSI, who says that he has the perfect game plan to beat Fury tonight.
Honestly, I've just been riling them up. I'm there, tweeting saying I'm faster than Ryan Garcia. I'm saying, Canelo Charlo fight was boring. Why would you want to pay, a stupid amount when you could watch a more entertaining fight this Saturday? I don't care. the pressure, I build it and build it and build it. I just know I'm going to do. Like, it's just, I don't know, pressure makes diamonds. And I've been in high, pressure situations all my life. Let me say it like this. With the second Logan fight in LA, I trained hard, but I was still quite nervous. And I knew I had heart. And no matter what, heart would get me through it. This time, I don't need heart. This time, I just have a game plan, which I just know works.
Pressure makes diamonds. He certainly knows how to make a soundbite, doesn't he?
Yes.
KSI. Massive grudge match in Manchester between those two. That's been rumbling on for a while. It's going to come to a head tonight. And don't forget, Talksport is your place for it. And for the Rugby League Super League as well. It's Wigan taking on Catalan from 6 o'clock. That'll be on our main station. Don't forget, stick around for WSL from 5:30, right on the back of this with Joe Shannon and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Chelsea looking to continue their dynasty at home to West Ham. Kings Meadow, both sides are back out on the field now. Wrexham in their red, Salford in their white. It is Salford who lead by 2-1. Matt Smith put them into the lead with a header after 15 minutes. Matty Lund then jumped on that with 10 minutes to go before half-time. Elliot Lee responded in the 40th minute with a header back across the face of goal from the James McLean corner. So the momentum has gone this way and that. What do you think the two tones of the dressing room half-time team talks will have been like, Mickey Gray?
Well, I think it'd have been very calm in the Salford dressing room with Neil Woods, just to say, listen guys, just keep doing what you do and be patient, wait for your opportunity. If you can get the ball up to Matt Smith as quick as you possibly can, we'll work off him. But I think the more game goes on, if the scoreline stays the way it is, I think we will see Stephen Fletcher certainly playing the last 20-25 minutes of the game.
So we're back, ready to be underway for the second period. Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. My name is Cameron Pope. Those were the words of the former Premier League left-back Mickey Gray alongside me. We're waiting for the signal from Ben Toner, the referee. And he's doing the last register count. No changes that we can see for either side. It's Wrexham who get us underway, and perhaps a statement from Paul Mullin, who then took the ball and marched straight into the Salford half. They'll be calling on him and the rest of their attacking talents in this second period. I'll rustle through the teams for you, starting with the host, Okonkwo in goal, O'Connor, O'Connell, Hayden and James at the back, with McLean out on the wide flank, Jones and Evans playing more centrally, and Wrexham are coming forward here. It's picked up by Evans in the centre of the park and up towards the edge of the penalty area. Now there's been a big challenge on the Salford lad who's gone down. It's all happening in the first 30 seconds of the half. I think the salient detail is that ball has gone dead and it will be a Salford ball. Well, it all seemed to spring up into action out of nothing. Wrexham were coming forward. Aaron James looking to latch onto the ball down the right flank, came into the penalty area, coming together, and the referee's gone for a Salford free kick. So something and nothing. Salford leading by 2-1. We'll continue with that team rundown. So Okonkwo in goal, back three of Hayden, O'Connell, O'Connor, James McLean playing slightly further out wide, Evans and Jones in midfield behind Elliot Lee. Goal scorer for the home side, Ollie Palmer and Paul Mullin are the two strikers, and Cairns has thumped the dead ball out for a throw-in to Wrexham on the far side, hence the cheers from the home fans. So the away side, Alex Cairns in net, back four of Garbutt, Tilt, Mariappa and Ingram, Watt, London, Mallon in midfield, John, Smith and Bolton the attacking front three. So Salford in control of this one, but we saw Wrexham starting to come back into it as the half wore on. The ball has bounced downfield towards the Arsenal loanee Okonkwo, all in fluorescent yellow as he bowls it out short. And don't forget, we'll keep you abreast of the other goings-on in League One and especially League Two in this second half. Only 4 games to tell you about in League One through this international break. Forward comes Okonkwo, who has belted that ball downfield, looking for the head of James, who does manage to keep it in, but heads it back in play towards Matt Smith, who in turn, I think, lost it in the sun. And goes back to the goalkeeper once more, who again has failed to make a convincing distribution, and it has gone to a Salford man. That's Garbutt giving away. Wrexham will win it back. Lee in the centre circle, running into the shade that takes up most of the pitch here at Kairas. Out to the left-hand side for McLean, who doubles back on himself. On the fringes of the attacking third. There's a touch of promise about this move. O'Connor coming forward, down the line for Wrexham. Infield towards McLean. Now there's a 1-2. Cross comes in, into the penalty area. There's the 10 from Mullin. Can't get a shot away. He's in between 2 defenders. He goes down. There are a few shouts for a penalty. Not taken seriously by the referee, but they're coming again. Down the line it goes to Lee. Far side the Wrexham left. McLean getting the cross in. This time he's blocked by Lund. And Wrexham are going to catch their breath for a moment as they look to man another foray forward, although it's been taken down actually by Stevie Mallon. And he can play a through ball forward, looking for Ingram. and looking to start something again for Salford City. But you know what? You've hardly had time to catch your breath in this second half. 3 minutes of it have passed. It's still Wrexham 1, Salford City 2. But it's been a frenetic start to play. I'll get Mickey Gray's thoughts in a moment, because Wrexham are coming forward again. Played up towards Ollie Palmer, trying to cut in field 35 yards out, calling for a man. He's found James Jones, 25 yards between him and the Salford goal, but his presence is stopped by Elliot Watt, who will move that ball forward into the centre circle. But any chance of a Salford counter-attack breaks down with an errant pass, and it remains Wrexham 1, Salford 2. And now again Wrexham coming forward. End-to-end stuff in the second period. Up towards Evans, gets the crossing towards the front post, headed away by Mariappa. Tilt will follow it up towards halfway, and well, it was a rather isolated looking Smith in the end that tried to chase that one down, and it does run for a Wrexham throw. 4 minutes, and finally, because the ball's hardly gone out of the play, I can get the thoughts of Mickey Gray. It's been quite the start.
We can breathe a little bit. I have to say, I can see more intent from Wrexham, certainly down that left-hand side. James McLean looks as if he's playing in a more advanced position. They have got the ball to him on 2 or 3 occasions. But it's similar to the first half, Cameron, where I said the quality has to be better into the box. We saw on the occasion when they got it into Paul Mullen's feet, that little chop, tried to just poke it into the back of the net, but it was fantastic feet. So this is why he's so clever, why he gets so many goals in the division below, and he will get goals in this division as well, there's no doubt in my mind of that. But he certainly looks 100% fit now. He's just got to be involved in the game a lot more.
Free kick for Wrexham taken quickly, 30 yards out, whipped out to the far side left with James McLean, cutting it back, looking for Lee with a chip over the top, but he's only found the white shirt, and Ingram, the West Brom loanee, can clear. It was chased down, and that's the intent I think Mickey Gray was talking about from Elliot Lee. He charged into that ball, locked it straight out for a Salford throw-in, but Wrexham have come out firing in this second half, and they need to. They trail by 2-1. They were 2 down before Elliot Lee got them back in it with a header right before half-time. The rain continuing unabated at the racecourse ground. Forward come Wrexham. James, near side the Wrexham right, gets it well. He tries to get a cross in, and he skewed it horribly into the cold brew coffee stand behind the goal. And well, he tried to wrap his right boot around it. He had Mullen in the centre. Palmer was there too, but he skimmed it horribly wrong, and it's out for a dead ball. Wrexham 1, Salford 2.
Well, it's certainly something, isn't it, Cameron? I think Aaron James has got to work on. He's a young man. He looks as if he's enjoying his football, but I think that final ball, as we saw in the first half, kind of let him down a little bit, but he's young enough to work on it and get better at that and improve.
Long ball comes over the top for Salford, looking to play in the run of Ingram into the back of this, but nothing was to come of it. Rolled short towards Hayden by the goalkeeper Okonkwo, and he'll take it back, the goalkeeper here, and just as well, because there were 3 white shirts around the Wrexham defender. It does go long in the end, and helped on its way by Hayden, second time of asking. Up towards the head of Palmer, who tries to flick on, looking for the young Aaron James, brought into the side for his league debut today, the 18-year-old. Signed pro with the club as a 16-year-old and made his full debut only on Tuesday against Crewe in the EFL Trophy.
He's done great. He has. He really has done great. His defending's been really good. He's got himself into some good positions. And again, you know, when you're so young, everything's not just going to come to you so easy. He's got to work on things, and I think it's that final ball at the moment from what I've seen so far of the young man.
Well, that's the difficulty, isn't it? You know, only a young lad, still a teenager, and he's been thrown in after Jacob Mendy picked up a knock, can't play it right back. That hamstrung in their choices, and as a long ball comes forward looking for Mullen, but it was always watched well by Mariappa. Well, we've been talking about a lot of the Wrexham players in this first few minutes of the second half, but I'll tell you what, it's been caught out here, the goalkeeper, and the shot is wayward in the end. That might have been an opportunity for Wrexham. It fell to George Evans, 35 yards out. Goalkeeper, and the distribution, it's been a worrying theme in this game. And it fell to the Wrexham man. He was 35 yards out from goal, tried to lob the goalkeeper, who was getting back quite quickly, and he spins it well wide of Cairns' goal in the end. But talking about the defence as well, the likes of Adrian Mariappa, vastly experienced. I'll get your thoughts on him in a minute, because forward comes Salford down the right flank. It's cut back. Oh, it should have been 3-1. And it's been speared wide by Stevie Mallon. Lovely play by down the right-hand side by Bolton. Cut it back for the Scots, and well, he swung his right boot at it. Everyone was waiting for the net to ripple, and he's put it wide of the post.
What a chance. What a brilliant move. Best move of the second half for Salford down that right-hand side. Pulled a lovely ball back. And he has to hit the target. He's just got to hit the target there, Stephen Mallon. He does everything right. He keeps it low. He just tries to side foot it into the bottom corner, but he misses the target altogether. And this is the problem. As soon as we start speaking about Wrexham and how well they've started this second half, then comes Salford and they're on the break, and there's so many gaps at the back.
Tilt with a long ball forward, but it'll be watched carefully into the hands of Okonkwo, the Wrexham goalkeeper. He sees it short from O'Connell. He'll go now long on the right boot up towards halfway. Over the head of the young Aaron James, and out for a throw into Salford City, who lead by 2-1. And don't forget, it is international break, so plenty of internationals to come your way. On Tuesday, England versus Italy in the Euro 2024 qualifier. That's on Talksport with Jim Proudfoot and the former England defender Stuart Pearce. France versus Scotland in an international friendly the same night. That's on this station, Talksport 2, with Alex Crook and the former Scotland striker Chris Iwelumo. Salford still leading here, 53.5 on the stadium clock. No way back into this game so far from the home side, but they have played with plenty of intent in this second period. They've got a goal kick now, and there's going to be a double change prepared, and it's going to be by the away side. So a big moment for Liam Shepherd. He's been out injured since August. He's back in the matchday squad today, and the Welshman, born in Penta, South Wales, is one of the two that will make his way on. Another one is going to be Ryan Watson, who's going to make his way on for Stephen Mallon. What a golden chance he had to make it 3-1 to visitors just a moment ago. On comes Ryan Watson, former Leicester trainee. And Shepherd, he prepares himself to come on as well. That'll be Luke Garbutt, the number 29. So, well, he normally plays on the right-hand side of the defence, Liam Shepherd. It'll be interesting to see if he is the one to go over to the left, or whether Declan John will drop back in from further up the flank and there'll be another shift. I'm sure Mickey can fill us in on that one. But it is Garbutt who goes off. Signed a new deal in summer. Liam Shepherd, well thought of at Moor Lane. As Okonkwo gets us back underway with a goal kick for Wrexham, who trail Salford by 2-1. Have done since half-time. Shepherd with his first touch at the back, and well, he has gone onto the left-hand side. Plays a 1-2 with Curtis Tilt. Now he comes forward for a foray into Wrexham territory, looking for a pass, slips one into the penalty area, looking to find Ryan Watson, who's inches away from getting his first touch, and I think he might have got it, given he skimmed it over the goal line, and the referee's given a goal kick. Well, it was a difficult one for him to control, and out uncontested really for a Wrexham goal kick. 55 minutes played at Kairas. Salford City, who were 2-0 up halfway through the first half, had the lead slashed by a good header from Elliot Lee towards half-time. Still lead by 2-1. Take you through some scores from elsewhere while we're waiting for the goal kick. Blackpool leading Stevenage 1-0 in League One. Leyton Orient 1-0 up still at Carlisle. A red card in the game at Sinsel Bank. Lincoln down to 10 men against Burton, but it's still goalless there. Walsall have got a third at home to Gillingham. 3-0 in that one. Salford have a throw-in on halfway, arcing the ball downfield, looking to get the flick on towards Bolton. Bolton twisting to try and get away from O'Connor, but O'Connor is the man who comes up with it, plays it down the line. McLean halfway inside his own half. Up to halfway, it rather bounces off Paul Mullin, and it was a shame for Wrexham there because they had Palmer further forward down the left-hand side. It is a turnover ball. Shepherd into Declan John, near side the Salford left. In front of Neil Wood's technical area. A long hook crossfield. This time down the right-hand side, Salford will try. Here's Mariappa. Forward into Ingram, but he's pounced upon by two red shirts, forced back inside his own penalty area. It's all about to catch. Oh, he's lost it! Oh, and he's gathered it the second time of asking the goalkeeper under serious pressure. Oh, and Palmer was right on top of him. I don't think he realised how close he was there, Alex Cairns. He held it, the ball at his feet. The tackle came in from the big Wrexham man up front, and for a moment it looked like he'd pried the ball away from him in the penalty area. The goal would have been at his mercy, and somehow the goalkeeper's recovered himself, and it remains Wrexham 1, Salford 2.
I think all these goalkeepers have been watching Raya from the other weekend when he was playing for Arsenal, and Man City nearly got themselves a couple of goals. If you can see you're getting closed down, just clear your lines. Don't try and pick somebody out, but don't give your lead away by silly little mistakes like you're making at the back, because there's nobody around you to help you out. Just get rid of that ball.
Well, Shepherd's played a good ball. There might be a question of an offside, though. It is going to be offside against Luke Bolton. Shepherd, well, he's been a live wire since he came on, the Salford man. You can tell he's been out for close to 2 months. He's raring to go, but the run not held by Luke Bolton. He was just beyond the second last defender, signified by the assistant on the far side. So it will be a free kick to Wrexham, taken by the goalkeeper Okonkwo, just beyond the reaches of his penalty area. 57.5 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Listening to the commentary of Cameron Pope and the former Premier League left-back Mickey Gray. Hooked long by Okonkwo it goes. Palmer trying to get the flick on. It was beyond Elliot Lee, and it's cleared with relative ease by Shepherd, over halfway. Outstretched boot of Tom O'Connor. Doesn't collect it the first time of asking, but then goes back to his goalkeeper. Nearing the hour mark, and the home fans around us are wanting a quicker release from Arthur Okonkwo. Signed a senior Gunners deal in 2021. He's not played for them at full level yet, did play in pre-season. Long he goes, but only into Salford hands. Salford still 2-1 ahead in this game. Watson in the centre circle finds John near side the Salford left. Back into their own half they go. And the pressure coming from Mullin now. Played forward by Curtis Tilton. That's a soft free kick given away by Elliot Lee, who was just rolled into the tackle by Ingram. And a free kick to Salford halfway inside their own half. And there have been moments, I think, of indiscipline from both sides so far in this one.
Well, it's been a physical game, absolutely. We saw 2 silly yellow cards in the first half from the away side, didn't we, when they didn't really need to be given any, just for trying to kick the ball out of play. But yeah, absolutely, and I think that boils down from the whole side, certainly to a little bit of frustration, doesn't it, Cameron, finding themselves a goal behind and chasing the game a little bit at the moment.
Cairns kicks long and flat upfield for Salford City, who lead by 2-1 after 59 minutes. No change in that scoreline since half-time. This has been the place for goals in League 2. 36 scored over the last 6 Wrexham League games before today. James McLean looking to pick a pass far side the Wrexham left, gets the shins of an opponent. Smattering of applause from the home fans. They can see Sam Dalby warming up, the centre forward down in front of them. In the centre circle it is for Wrexham. James Jones back deep inside his own half. Now comes Aaron James, and he did well there to tempt Shepherd coming forward, and I think Shepherd's going to go into the book here. Only just come on, he's had plenty to do, but what he's done there is catch the 18-year-old who nicked around him with a drop of the shoulder, and it's a free kick. The Wrexham on halfway, but well, I think he knew what he was doing there, and I think that the young man might have been away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Good play again from Aaron James. Saw that the Shepherd was going to close him down there. Just a little shove the ball around him, tried to run us round him, but Shepherd just stood his ground, and he knew he was going to get the yellow card. But that's what they've got to try and do.
Long Wrexham ball up towards Paul Mullen. He's battling with Tilt. Tilt sends him down to ground. Home fans want a free kick. Referee not interested, and the assistant was right on top of it as well. Through it goes to Alex Cairns, who I think this time, in seeing Paul Mullen coming, will pick the ball up far quicker after the fracas involving Ollie Palmer that almost cost them their lead. But it's a lead they still hold, 2-1 after an hour.
That's what I talked about with Paul Mullen. Never stands still, does he? You know, as a centre-half, you just think you're going to have a little bit of a breather, and then he just runs it behind you, waiting for that service. This time he got it. It was a coming together, but I think it was the right decision not to give him the foul. But the more he makes that run, the more problems are going to cause Salford at the back.
A long floating ball comes from the back from Hayden, down towards the corner flag, and well, the defender was there first. It was always going to go straight out. 61 played, Wrexham 1, Salford City 2. This is Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Stick around after this as well. Women's Super League champions Chelsea taking on West Ham at Kingsmeadow. Joe Shannon and the former Liverpool striker Courtney Sweepen-Kirk taking up the reins after this. Plenty of football still left here though, as Cairns prepares his goal kick. He kicks flat over halfway onto the bleached head of Lund, back into his own half. Nowhere for Ethan Ingram to go but back to his goalkeeper. Salford are happy for that for the moment. Here comes Shepherd, near side there left, loses it in his feet for the moment, recalibrates and comes towards halfway. Salford leading by 2-1. Up towards Smith, got the first of those Salford goals. On to halfway with Elliot Watt. And there's a quickness about the passing of Salford. They haven't covered too much ground compared to the first, but when they have had the ball, it's zipped from left to right, and now, as we've seen a few times, back to the goalkeeper too, happy to just keep the ball. Now a pass comes free in the centre circle is Watt, receives it from his goalkeeper, over halfway, Bolton's got the turn, he's got away from George Evans, and he might have Matt Smith in accompaniment if he can reach him, but he's been bundled off the ball, and that's a clumsy free kick given away by Wrexham right in the corner of the penalty area, and it seemed needless as well. There were far more red shirts back than white shirts, and Salford have a free kick on the corner of the Wrexham box, 2-1.
Yeah, a silly little foul there from Elliot Lee yet again. You know, Bolton is doing really well. He's having a good game actually, but he's going nowhere. He's got 3 Wrexham players around him. He's looking for a pass. There's not one on. And Elliot Lee just gives him a little bit of a lifeline by giving that free kick away for Salford, who we know have been a threat from set pieces. They've got a goal from one already. And you can just see Matt Smith now looking as if he's disinterested. He's just standing at the back stick now, waiting for that ball to be whipped in. If the quality's there, it looks like a mismatch, doesn't it?
Well, the free kick is wide on the Salford right, just beyond the confines of the Wrexham penalty area. It's Salford who lead 2-1 at the racecourse. Here it comes, whipped by Declan John in towards a pocket of white shirts, but it doesn't reach Mariappa. Header clear by Wrexham. Lee in a battle on the edge of his own penalty area. John wins it back, flicked forward. Header clear, comes this time from O'Connell, and it's more convincing. It is picked up by Salford, but this time on halfway. And there's enterprising work from James, who gets in quickly, nicks the ball away, but it does evade him and goes out over the whitewash for a Salford throw-in. There's going to be a double change now for Wrexham. And, well, time for the big gun. Another one. Stephen Fletcher is getting ready to come on. He's going to replace Ollie Palmer. Has been carrying a knee issue of late, Fletcher. Brought in September after spending last season at Dundee United. Wants a £12 million player for your old club, Mickey Sunderland, back in 2012. And on comes Jordan Davis as well. He's going to replace the young man, Aaron James, who's made his league debut today. And, well, been a tough test for him, but I think he grew into the game in the second half, the teenager.
No, I completely agree with that. So I just think he needed to show a little bit better quality in that final third, but he'd be pleased with his performance so far. And he's only going to get better. He's a young man. He's going to learn every single week. And I think, this is a big test for him, isn't it?
I think that's the beautiful thing about League Two. You see players who've played at a higher level coming towards the latter end of their careers, and you've got those who are on the way through as well.
You certainly do, with Stephen Fletcher coming onto the field as well for Ollie Palmer. But I think they need that bit of experience alongside Paul Mullen, because he's got that quality. His first touch is great. He's always looking for his teammates. And let's not forget, they're still chasing to get that equalising goal.
25 and a half minutes left in which to get it. Cameron Pope and Mickey Gray, the former England international, on Talksport 2. Given away by Wrexham as they try and come through the gears. Evans, the culprit, given to Declan John. Picked up by Ryan Watson, 35 yards out from goal. Splays it out to the right-hand side. Here's Bolton. Back towards Ethan Ingram. Is he going to float a ball in? There's white shirts to aim for. Salford looking to increase their lead. 25 left to play. Back out it goes towards Elliot Watt. Push further away from goal. Wrexham got everyone behind the ball. In fact, it's worked because Salford have gone all the way back into their own half of the field with Curtis Tilton. He's struggling here to get this ball away from Mullen. He's done admirably well to, in the end, waltz through 3 red shirts, but they really had them pinned back there to the home side. Either way, it's come to Shepherd near side the Salford left. Just a touch inside the Wrexham half. And the sun continues to beat down on 2 commentators who weren't smart enough to bring a cap nor sunglasses to this one. And Kai Rash listening to Talksport 2. Flick forward. Comes over the top towards Matt Smith, but he can't control it. However, he's been dealt a reprieve. That ball's not gone out on the far side, and it's chased down by Matthew Lund. And on the Salford right flank, it will be a throw-in to the visiting side. They lead by 2-1. And Lund has decided that his talents will be of better use in a more central role. And he's going to leave this one to Ethan Ingram.
Yeah, well, they've got themselves back into Wrexham's half here, Cameron, but just a second before that, nice little move, get themselves to work the ball over on that right-hand side. You've got Matt Smith waiting in the box for the cross to come in, which is what he's there for. And they opt to play it back to midfield, then back to the goalkeeper, back to the centre-half. You've got to ask questions.
Well, it's been given away by Salford, and Wrexham trying to start a counter-attack. Into the centre circle it goes. Whipped ball forward, has gone out to the left-hand side. Might this be the opportunity they need to level the game? Fletcher, corner of the area. There's a man on the overlap. Is the cross going to come in from McLean? Shouts of handball. That won't be, but a penalty, a corner it will be. 67 minutes on the clock now. Wrexham still looking to level the scoreline. They've been behind since the 15th minute of the game. Is that about to change? Here comes the delivery. It will be McLean again. He's hit some killer balls so far. Here it comes. Out swinger towards the red shirts, but it hits a white shirted man first. Headed away by Mariappa. Out to the left-hand side again. Is there going to be the cross once more from McLean? He's being kept at bay for the moment. Stood up by Bolton. Has to cut it more central. Here comes George Evans. And there's no one for him to aim for, and too many Salford men around him. They've done a really good job here, the visiting side. They've pushed Wrexham all the way back to halfway and forcing them to switch flanks. Here it comes towards James Jones, near side the Wrexham right. Goes down the line looking for the 1-2. Doesn't come off in the end. Tried to use Jordan Davis, but it's been found out by a white shirt. And now here comes Ryan Watson trying to get away. Fouls Elliot Lee and getting around him. And it will be a free kick to Wrexham right on the half. We are 3/4 of the way through this, and Salford still have their lead as they look for a 4th consecutive League Two victory. And a far cry from that sorry month where they lost 5 on the trot, a new EFL record for the Ammies. Picking things up now, they will go within 1 point of their host if it stays like this. But it's Wrexham who come forward again, looking for the long ball to find Fletcher. It's cut out by Curtis Tilt, and there's applause from the home fans. They sense their side are coming back into this game. McLean to take the throw in, 20 yards from the corner flag, taking it quickly. Might be men over here if they can get the cross in. It's up towards the back post. Oh, Manakiri, no, brilliant save by Cairns. He's got down low for it, and Hayden was there with the header. And it's ham-fisted clear by Salford City, and that, I think, has to be the best chance of the second half for Wrexham to draw level. And it's been squandered by a brilliant save by Alex Cairns. Got down low to his right, tipped it away. It remains Wrexham 1, Salford 2.
What a chance. Looping ball into the box. Had to put a lot of pressure and power on that header.
Oh, they're
himself.
coming again, though. They're coming again, Wrexham. They've got men on the right-hand side, but it's a wayward shot in from Jordan Davis. Well, he's had plenty to do since he's come on, and it's failed to have been kept alive on the byline there by the defender Mariappa, who went after it. It will be a corner, and so Wrexham can keep the pressure on still. Inches away, that header from Hayden, and a brilliant save from Cairns, who didn't have long to react to it. It was similar to Lee's goal. It went back across him. Here comes the corner, this time from the near side, bent in towards the back post. Defensive header's the first one. It's going to drop to George Evans. There were cries of shoot, and well, it wasn't a cross, it wasn't a shot. I'm not even sure it was a pass. It went straight into Salford hands, and the Ammies can clear their lines. It's out towards James Jones. 45 yards out. Wrexham chasing the game still. Picked up by McLean, near side the right. Gets the cross in. Oh, header over the bar. And James Jones was there. Couldn't get the angle he needed. Much better from Wrexham from what we saw in the first half, but still they trail. It was flashed across the face of goal by James Jones. It remains in the 70th minute. Wrexham 1, Salford City 2.
Just wondering, I mean, that was James McLean over on the right-hand side. I just wonder whether that's maybe a move that Phil Parkinson's probably looking at, because I haven't played there myself. You can chop it onto your left foot. This time he put a lovely ball in with his right foot. Couple of Wrexham players there trying to get on the end of it, but the pressure's starting to come now, isn't it? Knowing the fact they've got to get themselves back on level terms, and as we've seen the game so far from Wrexham, I don't think the goals are finished yet, do you, Cameron?
Well, we certainly would not bet against it. And we've seen a bit of a change as well, I think, from Wrexham. So Fletcher brought on for Palmer. OK, that was like for like. We saw James go off, who was playing right wing back. Jordan Davis, who's more of a midfielder. What's the change of shape been like from Wrexham since?
Well, I mean, like you say, I think they'd obviously trying to push it, an extra midfield player forward, which is going to help them in the long run, because I think offensively now, we're not running out of time. There's still plenty of time for them to get themselves back on level terms. But he had to do something, Phil Parkinson. Just playing the same system, nothing's going to happen. But I think with the experience of Stephen Fletcher now, who's been really involved since he got in the game, you can see McLean pushing forward here as well. They've got to make something happen, haven't they?
Comfortable ball in the end for the goalkeeper. Cairns clearing long over halfway. His Salford side still leading 2-1 here at the racecourse on Talksport 2. Wrexham have a free kick on halfway. We are going to go to the team news in the WSL in just a moment. Wrexham showing signs of coming forward here. Evans is plotting a cross-field pass, and he loops it long right into the wheelhouse of James Jones, but across comes Mariappa, and he deals with it well. It's picked up at the back by Hayden, forward over halfway, looking to find Mullin. Mullin feeds it back into his own half, and well, they're proving difficult to break down, Salford City. Still, the opportunity goes on for Wrexham. Here comes Hayden, over halfway, burning forward. It's end-to-end stuff. Salford still leading 2-1. Now might be the crossing opportunity. Here it comes from James Jones on the right. All flicked away. It's going to fall. Oh, the shot is wayward from Jordan Davis. It careers out over the crossbar by about 20 yards. It remains Wrexham 1, Salford City 2. And we're going to go for the WSL team news with Joe Shannon.
4 changes for the champions Chelsea after their draw at Manchester City. Mielder, Leupolz, Kerr and Kirby all come in. Fleming, Cuthberts, Fischel and Wrighton all drop out. 1 change to the West Ham side that won at Brighton in their second league game of the campaign. Emma Harris makes her first WSL start. Stringer makes way. We've got live commentary at 5:30 of Chelsea against West Ham.
Thank you very much, Joe. Don't forget to stick around after full time in this one. We've got 18 minutes of normal time remaining. Wrexham 1, Salford City 2. Oh, almost a wayward moment for Okonkwo, and we've said that a couple of times, but Wrexham man has got his bearings in goal and has played one out looking for James McLean, who has now gone back to the left-hand side. In this fluid formation, forward it comes. Wrexham looking to get back into this game. Here comes a long ball cross field, headed away on the edge of the penalty area by Elliot Watt. There's a moment of calm for Mariappi to clear, gets it up towards halfway, it bounces off Luke Bolton though, and now it's come to Elliot Lee, and he's 40 yards out. Could he turn? Fletcher into the penalty area. Wrexham have got men over here, getting the cross in, up it comes towards the back post. Oh, there were plenty of men rising, none could head it goalwards. Fletcher was in there, and the shot comes in from deep, softly into the goalkeeper's hands in the end. Well, a little bit of everything. They tried the long shot, they tried the cross to the back post. It was the same result in the end. Comfortable catch for Alex Cairns, and it remains Wrexham 1, Salford City 2.
Two big opportunities coming for the substitute there, Jordan Davis. First one, he just skied over the top of the bar. It was, I mean, he was too far out. He should have had a touch and just composed himself. But the second one there, a little header at the back post, couldn't really get any power on it, let's be honest with you. But you can see Wrexham now starting to put pressure on this back line of Salford, who seem to be panicking a little bit, can't get out their own half, which is why you need to use that experience of Matt Smith. Just play that long ball, forget about trying to play pretty football. You're in front, see the game out.
Pressure on Cairns, the Salford goalkeeper, but he does meander in the end around Stephen Fletcher, and it's played up towards halfway. Wrexham will win it back. Lee with McLean on the overlap, far side there left, crossing to the penalty area, looking for Jordan Davis, tried to get the turn away, couldn't manage it. The ball bobbles free, but it has gone to a teammate. Here's Elliot Lee, 45 yards out for Wrexham, up towards Fletcher, goes down on the turn, wants a free kick in the tussle with Shepherd. Referee says nothing untoward went on, and Salford can pick the ball up on their own goal line. 16 minutes of normal time remaining at the racecourse. Floodlights are on. Sun has ducked in behind the cloud for the first time in a long time this afternoon. Heat is on for Wrexham, and they've given away a soft free kick down the left-hand side, and the yellow card has come out for Owen O'Connell because Watson was away down the left-hand side for Salford. He skipped into the attacking third and was sent flying by the Wrexham centre-back. And Owen O'Connell goes into the book for the final quarter of an hour in this one. And Salford have a chance from this wide free kick to double their money and double their lead. They lead by 2-1 here at the racecourse. It is Watt at the moment who stands over it, assisted by Declan John. There's a two-man wall for Wrexham. Referee is laying out the vanishing spray. They're stood just inside the penalty area. The two Wrexham men in the wall. Hands tucked behind the back from Lee. He's been pushed further wide. All the while we're waiting for Watt to take it. Here he comes, right-footed from wide, arcs it in over the bar. And there are jeers, but a touch of nerves in those jeers from the Wrexham fans around us. Still in the battle here, 15 minutes of it left to wage. Salford leading by 2-1.
What a let-off. Well, you get yourself into a good position like that. Elliot Watt on the set piece there. You've got to keep it in play. You've got to keep it a little bit lower than that. Matt Smith must be scratching his head thinking, you know, I'm working my socks up here. I've got away from my marker. Just put a nice little ball in. Give me the chance to challenge somebody to maybe get me second goal of the game. And that's what frustrates managers, because you work on these things Thursdays and Fridays. Set pieces are, I said, you know, they're so key in this division. But when you come up with quality like that, that's what frustrates everybody.
Attendance just being announced here at the racecourse, 9,771. It's not a bad gate for a 4th division clash, is it, Mickey?
No, absolutely. I mean, they've been around 10,000 every single... Oh, here we go.
Well, Conquo's just let that ball run across his body here, and I think he knew what he was doing, but there were certainly a couple of panic voices around us here in the Wrexham Lager stand. He does clear away over halfway, and now Wrexham coming forward again. McLean, far side there left, cuts it back towards George Evans. He himself drops a shoulder and juts inside. Now brings in Isaac Hayden, who's come forward. Near side the right for James Jones. Wrexham still looking to get back into this game. They trail by 2-1 on Talksport 2. Evans, 45 yards out. Has to cut it across ways and still can't really penetrate that Salford back line. Here it comes to George Evans again. Tries to flip it through the middle. Might be a man on who can run into this. Paul Mullen is chasing down on it, but Mariappa was there first. Clears towards halfway. Up towards Matt Smith, who looked like he was going to make a play for it, but I think he knew that he was beaten to it by the defender O'Connell. And it's back to the goalkeeper once again. Jones picks it up on the right-hand side for Wrexham, near side of the turf. Down the line he's looking for the pass, and, well, Jordan Davis is sent sprawling out over the whitewash, but he's won his side a throw-in. 13 to go. Is there going to be a cross coming in? George Evans with it. Oh, it's split backwards by Fletcher. Where's it going to fall? Back towards the edge of the penalty area. Might there be a shot for Lee at the end of this? He's played it out towards McLean. McLean with the left foot across towards the back post. Header down. Oh, it was all there to be taken by Jordan Davis. And then another stop for Salford. And it's been squeezed out for a corner kick. They're getting closer, Wrexham. They still trail by 2-1. Again, thwarted by the hard work of Cairns in goal. They're going to make a change shortly. Sam Dolby, the centre forward, is going to come on and help with the attacking effort. It's actually skittered away for a throw, and it's gone just the wrong side as well for Wrexham with the corner flag. Here it comes. Here's the throw, deep towards the front post, bobbles up, and it'll be a catch, an easy catch at that for Alex Cairns. And a moment for Salford to catch their breath. There haven't been many of those moments of light relief so far in this second period. And Dolby getting prepped to come on. Let's have a look at what's going on elsewhere then. Blackpool 3-0 up on Stevenage in League One. Cambridge 1, Shrewsbury 0. Leyton Orient leading 1-0 away at Carlisle. Long trip for the O's, but now being leading the 10 men of Lincoln by a goal to 0 as well. And that completes it for League One today, as a long ball is punted downfield by Cairns and goes all the way down to his opposing goalkeeper. What a day for Forest Green. They're playing against 10 men in Colchester, but struggling down the wrong end of the table. They're 3-0 up, they've just gone. As Wrexham come forward now with McLean, far side there left, looking for a nick off the defender. Oh, he's got himself a corner. Well, it came off Ethan Ingram. And those in the cold brew coffee stand away to our right were on their feet to applaud that one. As here comes the attacker Sam Dolby. And he's going to replace Tom O'Connor, who's come into a more advanced role in this second period.
Probably going to be a change of system, that, Cameron, as well. When we go to a flat back four, so they can get Dalby a little bit further up the field. We know he's a threat from these set pieces.
Here comes the corner then. Wrexham trailing by 2-1. Defensive header is first, but it puts it behind for another corner kick. Elliot Watt it was with a deciding touch. Salford will need another one now. Once again, it's set up far side, the Wrexham left. McLean to take it. Here it comes. Another outswinger. This one deep towards Isaac Hayden. Mariappa getting the header away. I think two Salford defenders got in each other's way. Hayden's chasing this one down towards the corner flag. Mariappa has got there first and is trying to hold him off. There's a battle on for it. The Wrexham man has got the better of him. Tries to play it more central, looking for Mullin. Mullin now in a tangle, and he's been penalised by the referee. And when you're right in front of the home fans, it's never going to be a popular decision. But that's the way it's gone. And after 80 minutes, it's Wrexham 1, Salford City 2.
Yeah, it's never going to be easy, is it, for Paul Mullin? Stayed on his feet there, a little bit of frustration, but those Wrexham supporters, they just want the best. He's been given a yellow card for it as well, which I don't believe. I mean, maybe it's come from a bit of dissent. I don't understand where that yellow card has actually come from. Maybe a bit of frustration in the second half. He's had one half look at scoring a goal when he showed great feet in the 18-yard box, but other than that, I think he's gone searching for the ball a little bit too much. He's been crossing the ball rather than being on the end of them.
Racking up now these yellow cards. I made that 3 from each side as Salford looked to come forward with Bolton. Long ball over the top was dealt with by O'Connell, and into the corner goes James Jones, just waiting to draw the free kick from the Salford man. And the ball is kicked away by Luke Bolton, and there's yellow card number 7, and that's the easiest decision that Ben Toner has had to make this afternoon.
You don't understand sometimes, do you, when these players just kick the ball. They know the rules, they know the laws of the game. Maybe it's just a waste of a little bit of time, but referees are not silly now. And if we've got Ben Toner, he's probably thinking, right, well, I'll just stop me watch. I'll add another 30 seconds on. If you're the away side, doesn't matter how you performed in this second half, Cameron, if you come away from here with 3 points, it's a massive win, and it just keeps that momentum going for them.
That is exactly what Salford in 9 minutes of normal time away from doing. As Hayden goes back to the Wrexham keeper Okonkwo. And there is annoyance. Plenty of it around us here in the Wrexham Lager stand. Home fans disgruntled, but they know their side is still in this game. 81 on the clock, and they trail by 2-1. Here's McLean on halfway for Wrexham. He's closed off by Ethan Ingram, stopped from going further forward, and so infield he comes into the centre circle. George Evans playing a ball out to the Wrexham right-hand side, near side of the field. James Jones down the line, looking to try and find Mullin, which he's found. Trying to get the turn and get the cross in on the left boot. Here he comes 1-2. Forced away from goal. Back towards Hayden. Hayden through the middle this time. Now the flick on comes through from Dolby. In towards Mullin. Mullin will try and get the turn into the penalty area. Mullin chips towards the back post. Oh, headed wide. This might be the chance. Brilliant save from Fletcher. He fired it at goal. Cairns was equal to it. The danger not clear. Here comes the cross towards the back post. Davis. Oh, how's he missed it? How has he missed it? Jordan Davis rising majestically at the back post from the cross, and he's put it right across the face of goal, and somehow it evades the far post, and it remains after 82 minutes. Wrexham 1, Salford City 2.
Again, 2 massive opportunities. The first one falling to the man you want it to fall to in Stephen Fletcher. Great play from Paul Mullin. Worked his feet out, played the ball into Stephen Fletcher with his left foot. What a save, you have to say, from Alex Cairns. But that third opportunity for Jordan Davis, 2 with his head at the back post. He's got to hit the target first and foremost, keeps it down, but that's a massive chance. We're talking about big opportunities with time running out. They're the ones you've got to put in the back of the net.
What a chance that was. Swindon have got a second at home against Newport. Stockport set to become the new leaders in League 2. They're 3-1 up away at Harrogate Town. A lot of signs winning at the top end of League 2. Crewe and Swindon seeing their stock rise so far today. Defeat for Notts County in the Nottinghamshire derby, with Mansfield, who retain their unbeaten record. But it's still all to play for at Kairas. 7 minutes of normal time remaining. Long ball forward from Watt, looking for Smith, who's had precious little to do in this second half, but he could have been called in there. However, Okonkwo was quick to react and picked it out of the sky. Bowls it downfield looking for McLean. Over halfway it goes. Elliot Lee looking to plot a pass up towards Fletcher. Edge of the penalty area. Fletcher looking to find the 1-2. Now he makes the beeline for the centre of the box. McLean could get a cross in here. Might be danger for Salford. Whipped in towards the front post, into the path of Fletcher. Only cleared away. George Evans is underneath it. Now Jordan Davis in the 18-yard box. James Jones on the overlap. Gets across it. Oh, just needed the faintest touch. And it's flown all the way across the face of goal. And gone out for a goal kick. 83.5 minutes gone. Every chance seems to bring bring Wrexham nearer, but Salford somehow, you might say, still in the lead in this game.
Yeah, and again, down this right hand side, and it's a lovely little move from Wrexham, playing with some really nice football. James Jones, he's got no pressure on him. I know he's trying to play it in first time, but does he get a bit too much pace or too much height on it? Got to think as a footballer, right, where's the best opportunity for me to put this ball in the box? Just roll it across the 6-yard line, and then they'll have players running in just to tap it into the back of the net. And I think that's what's let them down, is that final ball today. Yes, they've clawed their way back into the game, but they could be going away from this home stadium with absolutely 0 points.
Home fans trying to G their side up as they come forward again. Long ball towards Dolby. Only going to be for the defender, but managed to keep it alive. Salford clear it up towards halfway. Taken down by Watson in the centre circle. Confrontation with Lee, and then he wallops it forward. Okonkwo was actually off his line, but was back in ample time to pick that ball up on the bounce. He bowls it out short, and they will start again. Wrexham from the back. Long ball forward. Flicks on by Dolby. Up towards James Jones. Plenty of red shirts in the middle. Jones on the right flank. Gets the cross in. It's a low one. Oh, help goalwards. Defensive block. It falls to Jordan Davis. And he's beaten 1. Beaten 2. Jordan Davis. Oh, defensive block. And it's hooked away by Ethan Ingram. Brilliant defending by Salford City to keep that ball out. 5 minutes remain of normal time. Tense stuff here in North Wales. Wrexham 1. Salford City 2.
It's just incredible, isn't it? First opportunity, Paul Mullen looks as if it's going to find a way into the back of the net, and it just falls to Davies again. Brilliant feat, I have to say, with his left foot. Just chops onto his right foot. But the defending, as you mentioned there before, players throwing their bodies on the line, absolutely incredible.
Here comes the corner from McLean. Skips in and get an outswinger. This one's met by the head of Shepherd. Sent long. Is this ball going to come back in from the boot of Evans? Down the line it goes. McLean, left side, gets another brilliant cross in. Heather away from Tilt in the 18-yard box with Lee. Up against Lund. No way through to goal for him. Now the 1-2. Lee out to the right-hand side of the penalty area as Wrexham chase this game. Blocked by Shepherd. Out for a Wrexham corner.
Unbelievable. Got to throw everybody in there now. I think the goalkeeper might have a little snipper maybe coming up. Looks like he's going to stay back for this one, but they're just doing everything but put the ball in the back of the net, the home side.
Here comes the corner, right down the other end of the ground. I'm tempted to get out of my seat, but I think I might get a whack on the back of the head from a home fan behind me. Here it comes in, whipped towards the back post, defensive header, falls into the lap of Matthew Lund, and Lund swings all right, booted it, gets it out on one bounce on halfway for a Wrexham throw-in. Salford won't mind that. 87th minute of the game. They lead still by 2-1. Goals from Smith and Lund in the first half. They've done the damage, even despite Elliot Lee's brilliant header at the end of the first half to get him back into it. Wrexham still looking for a route back into this game. George Evans on halfway. Chips forward. Oh, it was straight over the heads of the red shirts in between him and the touchline, and out for a throw-in for Salford in the left-back position. And, well, they might take the time over it, but there are not too many players at the back who can afford to do that. Yellow cards have been handed out everywhere, so it seems. And we're waiting for the throw-in to be taken by Declan John, who is the only member of that backline, bar Adrian Mariappa, who doesn't have a yellow card already. Fletcher with the 1-2, picking up Mullin right edge of the penalty area, gets crossed towards the back post, and Fletcher is there. Stephen Fletcher on off the base to turn it home for Wrexham. Something out of nothing for a side who created everything in this second half. Salford giving the ball away far too cheaply, 30 yards out from their own goal. Mullin and Fletcher combining, the two big names doing the business for Wrexham. And Stephen Fletcher was there when it mattered. He turned it in, dribbled across the face of goal. And Salford's resistance, it crumbles with just mere minutes left on the clock. And at Kairas, at the end of a brilliant game, it is Wrexham 2, Salford City 2.
No question that equalising goal was coming. You could just sense it, couldn't you? And they want to go for the winning goal now.
And they want to win it. Forward it comes from McLean, up towards Fletcher. Salford have been caught flat-footed. Here comes the overlap. Is there going to be a cross into the penalty area? Back post, Davies! And Wrexham have got a third! 2 goals in scarcely more than a minute. And there is delirium at the racecourse ground. The Salford players, they look disconsolate. They had this game in the palm of their hand. They were minutes away from a 4th straight league win, but never write Wrexham off. Stories just seem to follow them. And it's been tucked away at the back post by Jordan Davis. Salford, goodness knows what they were doing. They looked like they were pushing forward. Caught completely flat. 20 seconds later, the ball was in the back of the net. Across to the back post, it evaded everyone, but Davis, he held his run. There he was, fires home. Goalkeeper inches away, flying after it, but all in vain. And Jordan Davis, in the 89th minute, has made it Wrexham 3, Salford City 2.
Well, I mean, this place is just incredible, and it doesn't happen just once. It seems to be every single week. It's a brilliant finish with the equaliser for Stephen Fletcher. Great play from Paul Mullin. Puts a great ball across the box. But then that winning goal, which it looks like being now, from Jordan Davis, it's just tenacious. Keeps the ball alive. He works hard to get himself in the box. Keeps his cool this time because he had some great opportunities in the game. But with his left foot, just slots the ball into the back of the net. What a turnaround.
And it's just stupendous, isn't it? And now, Salford City forced to try and get back into this game. They've led from the quarter-hour mark. Forward comes Watt, gets across in towards the back post. Is there another twist? Header down. Oh, it's a scramble in the 6-yard box, and it's away by Wrexham. Ethan Ingram was in there to try and turn it home, and it was thumped clear in the end by Owen O'Connell. And James Jones in his defensive third still will clear towards halfway, straight to tilt. 5 minutes of added time. We're just into them now. Remember, that's a minimum. Plenty of time for more drama. It's been given away by Salford though, and Wrexham won a 4th. Lee's 35 yards out, spreads it down the line for Dolby. He's got Fletcher in the middle if he can find him. Held up against the corner flag by Shepherd. Desperate times for Salford now. The tide has completely turned. McLean gets it back, gets a cross in too high for Fletcher. That one's going to run and run. It might go out for a Salford throw-in on the near side. Indeed it has. And in the excitement of what's gone on in the last few minutes, I think the stadium announcer forgot to let everybody know there were 5 minutes of added time. Fortunately, we could see the board. I think he was still celebrating.
It's just incredible. I mean, listen to this place now. You'd think they played like Barcelona or Real Madrid throughout the whole of the game, but they've missed chance after chance after chance, but they've kept the pressure on Salford. And oh my God, you feel, don't you, for Neil Wood, Salford manager. His team have just been patient. They've waited to get themselves in front. They've tried to hang on to that lead. But then the goals have just come in, the 88th, 89th minute. What a sucker blow that is. I mean, it's just horrendous for the away side.
Well, they met back in the 2018-2019 season in the National League. It's the last time these two have met. And Wrexham had a rip-roaring 5-1 Boxing Day win that day. Had to wait a few seasons to, well, try and get their revenge here. Salford City. And it looked very likely to happen. But for 2 late goals, Fletcher and Davis, who have turned this game on its head. Paul Mullin has been given the man of the match. What do you make of that?
I'm a bit surprised about that, I have to say. I think there's been some really good performances. Elliot Lee's not stopped in that midfield area, but I think when you look at the goals that Wrexham have got themselves to try and get themselves back into this game, you probably look at Jordan Davies, albeit, he came off the bench, but he's had 4 massive chances. But, I mean, where else would you look? I think Bolton for Salford's been fantastic in the game. But it's all about winning performances and winning moments, and certainly Paul Mullin was certainly involved in those.
It's all at the wrong end of the ground now for Salford. They have won this ball back, and forward comes Ryan Watson trying to get out of his own half. Oh, he's tied down in the tackle from George Evans. It's been picked up again. Salford coming forward. Declan John down the line, looking for Bolton. He's got the 1-2. John into the penalty area, crossing towards the back post. Smith is in there leaning. Oh, saved by Okonkwo, and it almost got away from him. Well, it bobbled out of his hands at the first time of asking. It was there on the goal line, and the young Arsenal loanee stretches out both hands, pulls it into his body, and maybe, just maybe, saves the points for Wrexham here at Kairos.
Well, he certainly has. I mean, brilliant move from Salford down the left-hand side. Lovely ball into the ball. And it falls to the man you want it to fall to in Matt Smith. Can't really get power on it, so he does the right thing. Leaps over the back of his centre-half marker, heads it down into the ground. But Okonkwo, what a save. Just calm things down now. See this game out as quick as you possibly can, and you will hear a massive roar at the end of this game.
Well, the Welsh fans are in full voice now. Jordan Davis has gone down under the challenge from Bolton inside his own half. 2 minutes of the 5 added remaining. There's going to be a double change for Wrexham. Land of My Fathers has just been belted out all around us. And there'll be more singing if it stays like this in 2 minutes' time. Changes to be made. Luke Young is going to come off the bench along with Jordan Tunnicliffe for Wrexham. Waiting to see who's going to be replaced, and Paul Mullin is going to be the first to come. So striker coming off. Not entirely surprising at this point in the game. The home man of the match or so they've awarded him here at Kairos. Didn't get on the score sheet today, but plenty of work in back play, and he passes the captain's armband on to Luke Young, who comes on in his stead for the final, 1 minute and change, you'd imagine. And Tunnicliffe, Tunnicliffe's come on too, but we couldn't see the board from where we're sat, and I'm not sure who you replaced, Jordan Tunnicliffe.
James Jones. He's come on for James Jones, yeah. So, I mean, it's those changes, and you just look and you're thinking, right, well, they're just trying to bide a little bit of time here, Cameron, and that's all they have to do. If the rain starts to pour down again, no, I thought you saw Paul Mullen walking down that tunnel there just as he was taking off.
Long ball forward for Salford. Owen Bolton is through here. This is the flag stayed down out on the right hand side. Shouts of goal kick. They think the ball's gone out. The home fans. He's kept it alive. Crosses into the penalty area but headed away. Salford coming forward. 95th minute. They trail 3-2. Crossing towards Smith. Okonkwo came for it and punched clear. And it's still alive. Wrexham have to get this ball out. McLean on his own goal line. By the corner flag clears. Straight down the throat of Ethan Ingram. Do or die now for Salford. We're almost at the end of the 95. There will have to be extras played on for the subs. Flicked forward towards Smith. Headed clear from the edge of the Wrexham penalty area. Lee up against Shepherd now. Shepherd trying to win it back, but he's only got into foul Lee, and that's going to be a free kick to Wrexham and a chance to eat up more precious time. We're now beyond the 5 allotted minutes. Lee is down, and he's going to take a little bit of time, I might suspect, here to get back going. It's a peculiar sight. The sun is up, the rain is hammering down, and somehow the most unbelievable sight from what we've seen over the course of the 90 minutes is that Wrexham have stolen this game from Salford City. That's how it stands, 96th minute. And the visitors, well, they need a bit of a miracle if they're to turn this one around. Their unbeaten run, it stops here in North Wales. Okonkwo halfway inside his own half. Takes the free kick, long and high into the sky, up towards the 18-yard box, flicked on by Fletcher. It goes through to Cairns. Now, this has to go long. We're at the referee's discretion as to how long we've actually got left. Thumped forward towards Smith, on the full by the goalkeeper. Bounces past him, Bolton chasing. Defender gets there first. Cleared by Connell. Trickle out for a throw-in, but it's a Wrexham throw. And they've got more chance to see this one out. It's at the right end of the field this time for Salford, but they still don't have the ball. Well, it's something they've struggled for in this second period.
Going to be no rushes that Cameron to take this throw in. Just biding their time, Wrexham, trying to see out this win if they possibly can. Well, I think we're nearly there. We're coming only be seconds away.
McLean to take the throw in, and that is the final whistle. Well, what a turnaround. Wrexham, they were out of this game, but 2 late goals within a minute of each other. Stephen Fletcher, Jordan Davis, those are the names that have spun this one on its head. And Salford, they were so nearly there. Wrexham have taken all 3 points as they continue to work their way up towards the summit of League 2. Unbeaten in 5 of competitions, unbeaten in 5 in all competitions they will now be. Salford's winning run in the league stops at 3 games, and well, how do you begin, Mickey Gray, to break that down?
Well, honestly, they can't keep doing this every single week. It's going to catch you up and it's going to bite you on the backside. Absolutely, but give them full credit. They just never give in. I mean, the tenacity that I saw in that second half, one, to try and get themselves back on level terms, was absolutely fantastic. And they made those changes, and I think this is where this squad helps. Bringing on players like Stephen Fletcher, who got that equalising goal. Most of the sides in this division can't do that. Stephen Fletcher's come up with a brilliant finish, but then that winning goal from Jordan Davis. I mean, you heard in this stadium, it just erupted. They were waiting for a moment like that, and he got it. And it was absolutely fantastic. But I have to say, Neil Wood's side will be absolutely devastated walking back into that dressing room, the away dressing room, now that they're coming away from this stadium with nothing at all. Because I think they deserve something out of it. They showed the quality in the first half. Second half, yes, it was backs against the wall a little bit, but I do feel for them. But a massive win for the home team, Wrexham.
Bit of a Viking clap between members of the home team and the fans away to our right, and all of them pretty much in that stand behind the goal when all the action seems to unfold. They are all staying behind. The rain is throwing itself down here. It's been a miserable Saturday afternoon, but all the home fans, all 6,000 of them, well 9,000 of them should say, will be leaving very happy. And the 600 who came down the M56 from Salford, well, they're leaving with no points to their name. They were so close, and it's hard to believe just how far out of it Wrexham seemed in that first half. A complete turnaround. But Mickey Gray, what an advert for fourth-tier football.
It's just incredible, isn't it? But as I said before, I think Phil Parkinson, he's probably aged about 10 years over the last 6 months. It's just been incredible, hasn't it? But atmosphere was brilliant in the stadium. Yes, there was frustrating moments for Wrexham, no doubt about that. First half, they looked a little bit sloppy and scrappy in front of goal. But it's all about that quality in the final third, and when that quality came in the second half, when they made those changes, they made Salford pay for it.
Well, pay for it they did, and pay for it dearly. That finish from Jordan Davis, cut in at the back post from the cross, it evaded everybody but him, and there he was. It was almost as if you had filmed it for TV, right there in front of the home fans. Well, it was some story, and their story continues. For Wrexham, out of the Football League for 15 years, looking to return to League One for the first time since 2005. It has been an absolute pleasure to voice this one for you. My name is Cameron Pope. It's been very much fun. We always said there were goals at Wrexham. We've had 5 of them today. Mickey Gray, thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure working with you yourself as well. The final score from a rainy Kairos, Wrexham 3, Salford City 2.
Feel the power and the glory.